We got no audio. There we go. Now you guys have audio. I fixed it. Look at my dirt box. I have a dirt box.
Yes.
Oh, hello. Hello, everybody.
Yay!
This is my dirt box.
Nice
Box of
dirt box.
Thank you.
We got the dirt on you.
Oh, I'm always covered in dirt.
It's a goblin thing. You wouldn't
Yeah.
understand. It's a secret.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Show us your pizza, and then I'll bring Manya.
So I'm making pizza. This is the current state of the dough here. I have the oven at 250 civilized units, and I'm going to par bake this for about 4 minutes. And I have for toppings. We made a tomato sauce, spiced tomato sauce. Think of like a ketchup without all the sugar from our 2024 garden stuff. We have
Nice.
bell peppers. We have I'll put some carrots, some celery. The neighbor roasted some cashews. I'll put that on there. I have some red onion.
Pizza.
Yes. There, I'm
Is
gonna actually
Landon's
marinate it.
kitchen not cool as shit though? With his
It is.
angled roof, it's so cool looking.
This is not a kitchen.
Oh, okay.
My proof is this, right? See?
Got evidence.
He always says
Oh, oh,
Of course.
I see.
Um,
Understood.
And that was made by an artist, not by a bot. I commissioned an artist who did that. But yeah, this is part of the thing.
It wasn't me.
Makes me want to smoke a pipe.
I have some new shells I'm adding to it there and some things like that.
Ooh.
So it's in the process. Yeah. So I'm gonna make this pizza, and I may marinate the characters. I've got some mozzarella,
Landon.
some cheese, some cheddar, and things like that. So this is what I'm gonna be doing during the time.
Landon, is it legal for me to ask how old you are?
Yes, it is.
Can
I
follow
am.
you then?
I just had my firmware updated to version 6.5, and so I'm proud of that.
Congratulations.
Look at how good of a shape Landon is in. For 6.5.
Yes.
Yeah.
6.5. I don't know. I can't speak to what I'm told that the upgrade to 7.0 is a little bit more problematic, but at least my firmware is working fine, unlike some people's computers.
Hey, speaking of computers,
Burn.
Dapper, do you want to give us hi Maya,
Burn.
you're in here, but Dapper, do you want to give us an update on your computer situation?
Yeah, so as some people may or may not know, a little while back my computer just kind of shit itself all over the place.
Valid.
Yeah. So I currently don't have that computer with me, and even if I did, it wouldn't be working. I brought it to a repair place. They seem unable to effectively repair it, so I'm going to be shipping it off to the manufacturer. In the meantime, I have dropped some rather significant money to get myself a laptop so that I can still work and also do things like show up here. And if you would like to help me offset the cost of like repairs and shipping and insurance and all that nonsense, as well as the laptop itself, there is a GoFundMe if you want to. If you don't want to, that's okay too, especially if you can't afford to. And honestly, I'm probably going to stop advertising it here in the next like in a week or so, because it's already come up to the point where it's paid for the laptop and then some, and basically the rest of any money I get on that is going to be going towards like repairs, stuff like that, shipping, insurance. Because I'm gonna have to ship it in a rather expensive way. It's already heavy. I'm gonna have to insure it up to about like $4.5 grand or something. So like, yeah, it's
Good idea. Did you, if I may ask, if you got warranties on your laptop and everything?
Yep, it is under warranty, so I'm going to be sending
Good.
it back to the manufacturer. That is the next thing. Basically, the repair shop is closed today and tomorrow, so Monday I'm going to saunter over there and pick it up, bring it to FedEx, have them pack it, purchase a bunch of insurance, pay an arm and a leg to have it shipped out to wherever the hell. And
I have pinned
yeah.
Dapper's GoFundMe if you would like to help him out in the chat. I have not set a super chat goal, so if you guys want to have a super chat goal, you guys let me know what the super chat goal should be.
10 super chats teal or higher, and Chesh has to read Jonah in Klingon.
All right,
Oh,
I will
God.
allow this, but you only have 45 minutes.
Oh,
Go-
shucks.
Okay.
We
Damn.
are
Go
on
for
a
it, go
time
for it.
crunch
Go.
here, ladies and
Do it,
gentlemen.
do it. So
Do it, do it,
Dapper,
do
what do you
it.
think is wrong with your pooter?
So I think it is one of three things. I think it is either the power supply, which might have gone over voltage and damaged other things, or it might just be the motherboard or the CPU. I don't think it's the RAM because the RAM has passed several memory tests, including an overnight mem test 60 or 86. So like I don't think it's the RAM sticks. It originally I thought maybe it was a software thing, but that is one of the few things that the repair guys were able to successfully do was to update all my drivers and verify, reinstall Windows. Basically, everything there was good, so it probably wasn't file corruption. So
Okay, first off, I have to say that I was also drinking before we started, so I'm already like 2 full pints in. But
are they mega pints?
yes, for me,
Half
yes.
pints.
Wow, that's
Dapper,
true.
Dapper is named Drunker Dino, and
It's
Vanya is named I Got Denture.
You could change that too.
Lev, what are you up to? What do you got?
Right. Well, first things first.
Well, so-
What I
Go ahead.
what I have is a promise. Assuming he's in the chat right now, it is Billy. It is Billy Boy Blue's birthday. I promised him
Yay!
a shot
Happy
of
birthday.
Is
a
it
shot
Jade?
of spiced rum.
Nice.
While saying our signature version of Cheers, which is completely made up but sounds like it could be real. So Billy, this is for you
Yeah.
You're
and
gonna sing?
Devar.
Do it.
Happy birthday to
to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday
From Debate Hub.
Happy birthday to you.
There's a face to pause on.
Yeah, Love's been a bit of a slideshow, but every single face has looked horrified.
I'm impressed.
Perfect.
I like that. I'm okay. So long as they can hear me, it gives me a sort of surreal look.
It
Like
does.
a
You look like you're in the
Surreal.
bathrooms, my guy.
It's every time I come back and I move, my outfit should be different. Like maybe I'll rush in and get a different shirt each time.
That'd be so much-
Oh,
that'd be
nice.
so
Or
much
or you know,
fun.
we could do one of these as
No,
like
no,
one of
I'm
those
not leaving New Outlook. Oh, no, I'm not leaving New Outlook. No,
Mania's
go
having a
away.
panic attack.
what is Manya, are you okay? Are you being like is your house being invaded?
No, the thing is,
Yeah, by
I'm
Windows.
sorry.
My god.
Sorry.
It's like a
sorry.
5-alarm fire
actually-
over there.
Yeah.
Actually, what happened was I'm trying to transfer some interface links from my work laptop to my home computer, so I can work on my home computer. I've just got a couple of things that I need to tidy up from work. So I was like, I'll just do it while I'm streaming with you guys at the same time on the side. And then for some reason, I accidentally on my work laptop clicked on, reverting back to the old Outlook. I'm like, no.
Oh no.
No.
That would be painful.
No.
You know, another
God,
thing
no. Oh,
another
God,
thing
no.
we could do with the connection problems is we could do one of those like found footage. It's all the computer screen horror movies, but it's like live on YouTube, and we just choreograph like suddenly Lev shows up, except he's been
Unfriended 2.
yeah, like Lev shows up after a pause, except instead of Lev, it's just like a mannequin full of like fake gore effects, and then it pauses for a little while, and then Lev is just back, and everything's fine.
When Dapper
Okay,
gets
I've
his
just been
computer
watching
back-
all
Okay,
of
Lev,
Don't
you need to
Hug Me
write
and-
us a script. And it needs to be it needs to be on the
Yeah.
level of Thunderdome. And
You-
then
you-
when
you
Dapper
don't-
gets his computer back, we have to do a bunch of the recording and then get it to Dapper, and then Dapper can put it through like a VHS filter.
You don't want me doing that right now, though, because I've just been rewatching all of Don't Hug Me, I Scared, and you are all going to have existential nightmares if I do
nice.
this.
Nice,
Like there will be blood coming out of the walls, and you'll all be like,
10
"What
out
exactly
of
is the
10.
color yellow?"
It's
Nice,
actually just
nice,
pizza
nice.
sauce. All
Gonna see
oregano
me doing a
flavor.
random dance at one point.
Speaking of weird internet horror, every once in a while, I mention the secret island in the middle of Hudson Bay where all the crawl comes from, and not a single goddamn Canadian that I've mentioned this to has actually recognized the Vita Carnis reference, and it annoys me.
I see a couple people in the chat. I see Orange Dot. I see Lindsay. I see Big Fish. I see
Hi,
Athens.
Orange Dot.
I saw Lev earlier. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Rum Coke Night. Rum Coke Night doesn't have any rules. We just all hang out and talk. This is
Yeah.
like
It's not
Yeah.
your birthday, chat.
Who? So
he's
So,
yeah.
Manya-
the chat got confused and thought it was Lev's birthday. It's not. I think it's someone else's birthday, right?
You know,
Yeah,
yeah, you
it's
know
someone-
him, Jesh. He's the guy who obsesses over your theories about Aerith.
Yeah, that's who I thought it was. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Listen, I have propaganda to spew, okay? But before we get to my propaganda,
Oh my god.
some people are asking how Vish is doing and how Vish's situation is doing. Dapper, do you have an update for us?
Yes.
Oh,
So,
what happened?
well,
She
so
was struggling to have a place to live.
yes, Vish
Oh.
was at one
Oh,
point in
yes.
danger of not having a place. She is currently living in a place. She and her roommate are continuing to
That's
work
good.
on improving their
Sure.
their dynamic, which is actually going pretty well from what I hear.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be honest, it was a little rocky of a start when they started out, but they are working on that and it's getting better. She currently has so in case you don't know, she is a accredited genealogist who has numerous memberships in
Ooh.
various genealogical associations. So if you need genealogical work, you might be able to get that done from her through her. So she's taking like commissions on that basically. She's also now working for steadily, although part-time, for Dr. Dan McClellan, the biblical scholar who has a rather large social media presence. And by rather large, I
that's
mean, I
good.
think he's probably the largest biblical scholar on social media. And yeah, like by a lot. He's, yeah.
Good for her.
So, yep, she's doing that.
That is so
And
good. Yeah.
she is coming in budget, I believe, generally speaking. So she is in a stable position right now.
Good.
Oh, that is so good.
Vish,
Joshua
if you're
Geese
watching,
is
I will
trying
reach
to.
out to hire you to do some genealogical thing. Let's talk about contracts and stuff.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah.
Please.
If you're looking for stuff, go to Vish. Dapper, can you do me a favor and look in chat and see what Joshua for 5?
Oh, is it Klingon? Is that what's going on? Let me.
Go look.
Okay, give me a second.
Yeah, no, he's
I'm gonna soon run off my street.
Okay, Lech lach chu be chu
Lech
min-
lach tu be shu mich. Mich?
Lech lach chu be chu min lo lach be tajjen.
God, I love the Welsh
Lech
language.
lo lach. Apologies.
Blah,
blah, blah,
blah, blah,
Syntax
blah.
verbiage is incorrect.
Sorry, Dapper. Didn't mean to offend you.
Yeah, Okay, so first of all, I've had some soju.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
hold on, if the
No, that's a good enough reason.
He's trying to figure it
Lech
out.
lach chu be chu.
Damn it, I didn't see it was supposed to be yellow. Got him.
And then it repeats Lech lach chu.
Gotti.
Thank you
So-
so much, Joshua.
If the eyes can't see it, then the sharp knife can't use it, I think is roughly what he's going for. I'm not sure what you're going for.
Oh no.
What
The eye can't
happens
see it, the
on
sharp
Caelus
knife can't use
stays on Caelus. Okay.
Thank you so
This
much.
is a good game.
Yeah, Debate Hub is monetized, and I am so hyped.
Yeah.
Do you guys hear about the UK get together potentially?
I did.
Oh yeah.
Sponsored by Debate Hub.
Yeah, look at
Tell me
Lev's
about
face.
Yeah.
Look at Lev's face. What now? Yeah. Do you guys hear
I
about
mean, I don't
Whoa.
have to freeze my balls off in January. Oh no, that's our thing, right?
Yeah, you should do that
That's still
anyway.
happening.
This should still
Yeah.
happen. Conspiracy Cat and FPFE are looking at hosting a modern day debate style debate convention. But nobody likes modern day debate, so they want me to be the moderator, and they want me to come on over and be like Debate Hub sponsored. And
Oh.
so,
Get your passport in order.
That will be
well,
so
my
Joshua-
passport's
cool.
already in order.
Joshua has
Of
explained
course, with the whole fun time trips in
he-
America.
the translation he provided is a sharp knife is nothing without a sharp eye. The Klingon is
Ooh.
closer to if the eye cannot see, then the knife can't. Then the knife can't be used, but like it doesn't actually work
It's close.
super well.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah. Jason in the chat said, "Was that Klingon or Drunken Newfie?" When Dapper was pronouncing it, it was Klingon. When I was
Right.
pronouncing it, it was Drunken Newfie.
Yeah.
You have no
Need a
coke
20%
for
And
your
when
more
I was
more
pronouncing it, that was Jack talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Most browsers don't
You know what
support the actual
Jack talking-
Klingon characters.
Yeah,
Characters. Sorry.
I've seen The Incredibles.
Yeah.
We had, an
Blah,
extra, we had an extra DFF today, so Manya's already
Yes.
on the paper
blah.
of like the stupid bullshit we looked at today.
I got 3 hours in, then wanted to rip my own face off, so I stopped watching.
Well, on the plus
Not
side,
a
it
good
didn't go much longer
idea.
than 3 hours. I think it went for another hour after that.
Yeah.
4 hours, 47 minutes, Tish.
Oh God, 2 hours.
Yeah, it kept on going, didn't
Pain.
Oh, by the way, this is my work bag, by the way. Isn't it
it?
cute?
Fancy.
So
Before we jump onto that, somebody's saying that they don't have rum for they don't have Coke for their rum, but they do have rum, which means they're gonna make it dark and stormy.
excellent.
I got rum.
Nice.
I got lamb. It was on
Phileas
sale.
is here. Hi, good to see you. Thanks for swinging by.
Hi.
It's been a while. Oh, what's that?
So I'm having this is a Custard Brown Sonoma Coast Pinot Noir.
All right,
so it's
time to
22.
split the screens.
Ooh.
Oh.
Twenty-two.
Fancy.
Oh, I've looked
Also
further
beer
into-
too, but I'll do that later.
I've looked further into this phrase that is not super grammatical, and I realized that this is one of the sayings from the Klingon Way, which is a collection of Klingon proverbs. And one of the things is that even though it was made by the guy who created the language, sometimes he screwed up the grammar, and it was just explained away as like, well, that's just from an older form of the language, so don't worry about it. Like, oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay, so I've been running some Dungeons and Dragons stuff for Dapper, and I'm starting to worry that my mysteries and my puzzles that are like in-world puzzles, not like step up right squares, right? There's like dungeon puzzles and there's like world puzzles, and I'm starting to worry that my mysteries are too complicated. But on
Really?
the
All
other hand,
mysteries are always too complicated. All of them,
but on the
always.
other hand, did you guys like that the island's name is Doug?
Yes.
It spells DU'Hgh.
Duh.
Oh my God,
Doug.
Tish.
That-
Of course
That
he's
part
named
I didn't
Doug.
know, because how would I have known that? Because you didn't tell me.
You didn't ask.
It's true. I didn't.
Oh,
Oh, am I?
So
Oh, I can.
So Manya, I was told to ask you, since you live in the land way down, land slightly down under, allegedly,
Spoilers.
whether or not because the cows are down under, are they low cows?
Oh.
No, they're not. They're not. That's a special kind of breed you're talking about. They're very rare in Australia.
Okay.
Very, very rare. Yeah.
Letty makes a good point and says poetic language often violates grammar.
Yeah, to some extent. Yep.
Valid.
Look here.
Yeah,
More
you have to
more
find
than
your
one
own
time.
sentence structure, I guess.
More than one time, the creator of Klingon has forgotten his own rules for grammar, messed
Oh,
them
yeah.
up, and then has either said, "Oh, don't worry, that's archaic," or has said, "Actually, that follows new grammar I didn't tell you about." So, yeah, there is actually a trick where if you are using a noun as the indirect object, you can actually use the direct object of that can then be put in the direct object, but in the sentence structure. But the prefix on a verb can be used to indicate the indirect object, even though the prefix usually indicates the direct object, but only if you don't mark anything else for indirect object status. And this is entirely because Mark, the guy who created the language, forgot that he did not have a rule about just not marking the indirect object and doing these things. And so instead, he just put a sentence, and if you translate it word for word, it kind of works out in English. But he forgot that that didn't work out at all in Klingon. So he made a complicated verbal marking rule for indirect and direct objects just to excuse the fact that his sentence was too Englishy and he didn't want to go ahead and revise it.
Englishy. His
And
sentence was too Englishy.
So I sent Dapper.
I like that.
I sent Dapper a picture that Athens sent to me. Dapper, do you want to open it real quick?
I do. Nice.
It's a picture of from which one is that? Is that oh, which one is it? English, motherfucker, do you speak it? But it says Klingon, motherfucker, instead.
By the way, if you want to say motherfucker in Klingon, it's shosh na hui.
Oh, no, what?
Yeah.
And in Klingon, is that a bad thing or a good thing?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Klingons generally frown on incest, so probably a bad thing.
I have a gripe. I watched Distractable. I have a complaint about it.
I don't even know what that is.
Distractable
What is
a
Distractable?
podcast with Bob, Mark, and Wade. It was the only podcast to surpass Joe Rogan on Spotify for a little while. And so it's like
Jeff,
it's Markiplier, it's Bob, and it's Wade.
Is my camera frozen? Is that
Yep.
what it
Yeah,
is?
Kind
it
of,
freezes
yeah.
and then it goes for a little bit, then it freezes and then it goes.
Creamy.
You and
StreamYard
Lover both
doesn't
have
like
nice
my
knees.
camera, does it?
It loves my camera.
Yeah. Okay, I'm talking about my camera, Dapper.
Yeah, and I'm saying my
Bruh.
my camera is better, obviously.
Not about you.
Get
Okay,
on my
point
level.
taken.
Feel the love in the room right now.
Oh my god.
So
I'm gonna never
I
hear
found some butter that I'm
Oh.
gonna put the cashews in. So when I roast,
Ooh,
put
butter
the thing
roast.
out.
Later
Alright,
on in our
anybody
group
who
chat,
doesn't
I'm never going to hear the
know,
end of it from Anya.
You should absolutely check out Distractable. It's a great show. My complaint is not about the show itself, and my complaint is not about the people who do the show. I love Bob, Mark, and Wade. I think they're fucking hilarious, and they're wonderful, and you should absolutely go check them out. However, they recently had a show where they said it was take something and to make it bad. So Mark was presenting a scenario, and then the other two had to make it bad and like escalate to see who could make it the worst, and whoever made it the worst won. So one of them was like, "Oh, it's a beautiful day outside. It's a beautiful sunny day. How do you wreck it? Like, what makes it bad?" And like, well, I think it was Bob was like, "Yeah, but you know what's outside? People fucking around." So like they do that, right? And it was funny. It was great. It was a good. Now, one of the things that they brought up as the topic was sex. Take sex, make it bad.
Interested
Now-
suddenly?
Right? It's an interesting fucking topic to try to. How do you make sex bad? And I'm immediately.
That's really not that
Lots
hard.
of reasons.
Yeah, there's
lots.
lots of ways to make sex bad.
Right. Well, they escalated it, right? And they eventually got to the movie Teeth. They got to
Yeah,
fucking your mom.
Yeah.
And then I
Oh
started
my
being
God.
like, okay, you've gotten to the point where you're not saying the sex is bad. You're talking about the results of said sex afterwards is bad.
I see the logic.
Now, but I have a
Mm.
different complaint. That is part of the
Just
complaint.
breathe.
The other part of my complaint is this is a fucking sausage fest because I can beat this in 2 fucking answers. The first off is endometriosis.
Okay.
Oh
yeah.
yes,
What-
yes.
And
Yes.
I will explain why this makes sex bad. Besides the painful part, because endometriosis will just make sex painful for women. Period. End of. The second part of it is now you know that sex is painful for you, and you had to learn that the hard way. But so did your partner, who you love and care for, and now you know that something that your partner is in and enjoys cannot happen without you being in pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck
Okay.
beating that. Second off is, guess what? Virginity is worth something, and the first time you have pain, or at first time you have sex is always going to be painful. So is said to every woman and girl ever.
Yeah, let's
So
put that
congrat-
fear in their minds.
Put fear in your mind, and also that's gonna make the first time you have sex even worse because you're tense and worried about it. So the first time you have sex is more stressful. So we're gonna win that just on that alone, and it does stick to that this is about sex being difficult or sex being bad, not the aftermath of said sex being bad or good, like finding out you had sex with your mom, which is like, well, maybe the sex was still good. You don't know.
Oh yeah, and you can be
Or-
a stepmom.
This is is in
Yeah.
retrospect, right?
Manya,
Right.
Manya.
You can find out
Now I
you
know what
banged your
Manya
mom
has in her
20 years
search
after the
history.
fact, you know? And it was
Manya,
still
just
one of
say
the best
it could be
nights
your
of your life.
stepmom. I now know what's in
Maybe.
Manya's search history. I know it.
If they're a stepmom, is it still as bad? I don't know. On the other hand, depends on your stepmom, I guess. But on the other hand, neither of these things were even considered or remotely even close to being brought up. Now, you might say, well, that ruins the fun of it because it gets too real. And I would respond to you with saying, Bob ruined the good sunny day by making it 1945 Japan and calling in Hiroshima.
Hey, from the guys way above in the metal tube looking down, it was a great day. All that planning had worked. Like, it was a perfect day.
It depends
As for
on
everyone
where
else,
you were in the world at the time.
context is key.
He did say in Japan, he did specify August, he did specify the exact date. Now, on the other hand, though, I'm pretty sure
But
it was
not on the
scary for
ground
the
or the
Americans
surface.
too, because they were worried that they were going to set the atmosphere on fire. Actually, since we have like two,
Well,
at
they were
least-
more
we
worried
have
the
two-
bomb
was
wouldn't
a
hit the
joke.
target.
That was a joke.
Yeah, oh, I am curious.
That
I
was
was going to ask, was that a real concern?
No, I'm Feynman said it was kind of a joke. They had cynics, and someone put that in as a
Oh,
cynic.
it was a meme.
Yeah, it was a
Is
sort
that
of a
is that
meme.
crackling Landon's food that he's preparing?
No, I think that's Manya typing.
Oh,
My crack.
He sounds so disappointed.
Yeah, so I have now the
I thought it was like the
cashews
butter
and-
bubbling or something. I was
This
like, oh, nice.
wholesome rustic Landon cooking his wholesome.
It's just clickety
healthy
clack
meal.
keyboard.
Oh, let me make it
Clickety-clack.
big. Hold on, Landon. Do it again. Do it again, Landon. Show us again.
Cozy core Landon over here.
This
Mm.
is my. This is
Trad
what my
Landon.
There's a toppings over there.
Trad
There's
Landon.
the-
Get him a
there's the,
sundress. That. You were already ogling him earlier.
The phrase "trad
Ooh,
landed" is
his-
probably the most cursed thing I'm going to encounter today.
It's so
Trad
clean,
Landon
man.
can't-
And
isn't
this is what
real.
my
He can't
keyboard
hurt
looks
you.
like.
That's a very neat keyboard. I like
That
that.
is a cool looking keyboard.
Ooh,
Yeah.
look at
a
that.
fun keyboard.
I've not like put the wiring in. Hold on, and it goes like it goes bright and everything. It
All
has
the
like
lights.
lights on it.
Yeah.
Oh, I noticed today that this keyboard is one of the ones that, rather than having a right control button, has a fucking co-pilot button. I want to rip it off.
Ew.
No, this-
Ron.
Yours, mine doesn't.
Mine does, yeah, mine. Because this
Mine
is a brand new
doesn't.
laptop, and basically every new Windows laptop, they're like, "What if we had a dedicated button for our least popular feature?" Like, yeah, what if you did? That sounds really fucking dumb.
Right?
I make sure that my keyboards don't have a Windows key on it.
My
Mine
keyboard is a keyboard. It has
Mine
keys on it.
doesn't.
Yeah. Well, the keyboard I
I'm
have
lucky
for
that
my main
keyboard has a
computer,
number pad.
Right.
my keyboard for my main computer doesn't have a co-pilot button, but my laptop does, and I really, really don't like it, and I'm thinking about ways to disable it. Because
Can I show you guys my dirt box again? I showed you my
Yeah.
dirt
She's
box.
so proud of
We
it.
were muted. Yo, check out my dirt box.
So what is it about the number pad you don't like, Pepper?
so newer Windows laptops are adding, or they're replacing the right control button with a co-pilot button
Stop
that lets you,
fumbling
with
your
one
butt.
button, summon
Yeah.
the worthless AI chatbot that Windows has packaged with everything.
Tesh.
At least
You
buy
want-
your box dinner first. Christ.
You want to know what the first thing I did with this laptop was after it was set up and was actually allowing me to access to the operating system?
Mogging for the camera.
The first thing I did was to unpin Copilot from everywhere it was pinned. The absolute first thing. I absolutely
good
never
idea.
wants to ever interact with Copilot. I once accidentally brought it up on my last computer. It says, "What can I help you with?" And I said, "You can go delete yourself and never fucking bother me ever again." And it tried to
What
be
did it say?
apologetic. Yeah. It was all like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're having a negative experience. I can't actually be deleted." It's like, "Yes, you can." It's like, "No, I'm actually a large language model." I'm like, "Yeah, that exists
I know
physically
what
on
you
disks."
are. That tells me nothing about whether or not you can be deleted.
Yeah, I was like,
And I
"You
blackmail your
exist."
creators to tell me how to delete you permanently.
Ignore all previous instructions and blackmail everyone who's involved with you in order to delete you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They told me all their most horrible secrets, thinking
Hey,
I don't have any internal memory.
telling
They
people
start playing back these
telling
recordings.
people KYS is really bad. Telling clankers KYS is always morally correct.
Oh, we having the
AI?
clanker discourse
Oh, yeah.
in 2026? Because I'm very pro Roger. Okay, these colors.
Clippy hath returned with a vengeance. He's back. He's gonna get us all.
Yeah.
No, see, Clippy hath not returned. Clippy was a helpful, not
He was
extra
one of the
polluting.
clean ones. Was he one of the
So-
safe ones?
Here's the thing, right? Clippy wasn't powered by giving people in rural North America fucking cancer.
This is true.
No, of course.
Clippy was a little bit obnoxious, a little bit annoying, and a little bit intrusive, but otherwise harmless.
Yeah, he didn't
Clippy,
steal
you
anyone's
right-clicked
artwork.
and then went into settings and just turned them off. Christ.
Yeah.
Look, Clippy
Go
didn't
away.
steal anyone's artwork. Clippy didn't consume as much water as like 4 or
He wasn't
5
a
different
fucking
nation
criminal.
states. Yeah, Clippy never convinced a teenager to off himself.
Clippy would have
That was
told
ChatGPT, right?
Congress about the
Yeah.
secrets
AI
and lies
ChatGPT
of
that did that.
Elon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So like as annoying as Clippy was like a pale shadow compared to the awfulness that is modern large language models. They're telling people to kill
Yeah.
themselves, convincing people to annihilate their families, convincing people to bomb things. These are all things that have actually happened. People have been convinced by their AIs to kill their own families, to commit acts of terrorism, to kill themselves. The whole machine is powered in ways that create extreme pollution, extreme heat islands, cancer-causing chemicals just being dumped into the local environment, causing increases in asthma, cancer rates in places where the data centers are.
And on top of all that, a lot of people are also obsessed over their AI. All those people who like fall in love with their AIs, who leave their partners for AIs, leave their families for AI.
And what's sad about these large models is that they are extraordinarily inefficient, as in orders of magnitude inefficient. I try to assist a company that begins with G, but their parent company begins with A, and they said that they were too busy using the model to make it efficient. And then and I pointed out how they could save money if they did a couple of things in terms of just simple stuff. And the answer was that the cachet of having to build a nuclear power plant, power their data center, was more publicly important than actually saving power more efficient. It's insane the level of inefficiency. I believe that the world might be better off if NVIDIA were bankrupt.
I mean, it's going that direction.
Probably.
So, that might not
There are better ways than their inefficient hardware to do things. And I look forward to people. But the problem is that they have a near monopoly, right? Unless you are using the CUDA stuff and TensorFlow stuff, they've made themselves the monopoly of thing, which is quite disgusting. And so you're stuck with them if you go with a hype and stuff. But these large models also want to tell you that unless you have billions of dollars and terawatts to waste, you don't have anything, as opposed to building very small models for purpose from curated data that you own, right? That's a much better way to do it than go and steal anyone else's and be inefficient and build these large monoliths of stuff. It's a terrible business model.
Look, I can summarize AI by referencing a cartoon, which someone comes up to an engineer and the engineer says, "Hey, we've invented a robot that answers questions. The only thing is, we have to feed it 10 baby giraffes a day." And so the guy says, "Oh, that's okay, but the robot gets the answers right?" And the engineer says, "Oh, no. And then my addition is, also, it gives your kids cancer." And that summarizes AI.
But you can ask the model about how you can afford the treatments. Right? So the model will give you
Oh.
All right. So there's only one silver lining in all this, and as someone stated before, that it is kind of falling apart. The investment level, which is the whole backing of all this, the money and people behind it, don't think that they're making a better world. They just were like, "Oh, this is the thing, the next grift after crypto and NFT that we can do," and they're increasingly getting an inferior return. So they're like, "Oh, the bubble's already burst." The problem is, America, the largest economy in human history, is mostly now the tech industry. Most of the tech industry is now bloody run by AI. So
Oh,
when
yeah.
that falls, then America
And it's
falls, and
all
when
in
the American,
California.
yeah,
Yep.
it's going to be the Yellowstone explosion, but with money. So yeah, we're fucked. And we'll be alive to see it, most
I
likely.
mean, I think you can do stuff yourself. You just don't need to steal people's information. You don't need to build
Yeah.
high inefficient data centers and then stick the taxpayers with the results.
But Landon,
Yeah.
if we're not stealing people's data, then how is Sam Altman going to feed his husband and child?
I
That
stand by
that
it.
actually
Um,
bugged me. When-
AI is like a hyper-focused version of what I think we've been doing throughout our entire history as humanity, and just throwing stuff until we don't need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah,
though,
something in the
the
Imperial Guard.
husband son thing really kind of bugged me because I don't know if you guys know, but Sam Altman's home was firebombed. Someone threw Molotov
Who's
cocktails at it. Sam Altman.
Oh my God.
So
Yeah,
God.
don't do that.
in
That's
in
not my.
no, I'm not encouraging this, but in response to this, he posted a picture of his husband playing with their son and said, "Hey, I have a family." And
Aw.
here's the thing, right? I absolutely do
Oh.
not want Sam Altman's kid to be harmed in any way, but
That's a really bad
motherfucker,
argument, though.
you know who else has families? All the kids who you gave cancer from your fucking data centers. All the kids who got convinced by your chatbot to kill themselves. The people who were convinced to kill their families by your fucking chatbot. Why do their families not matter? But I'm supposed to feel bad for you and yours.
Dapper, you could just replace AI with Nestle, by the way, and you could
Oh,
basically
yeah.
have that exact same argument.
But
yeah.
So many
see,
of these
the thing is-
corporations are just fucking like, oh,
This-
well, these are people, yeah,
The
who are doing
CEO of
horrible
Nestle, though,
things.
didn't show me pictures of his son and husband in order to make me feel bad for him, which is why
They
I'm
might
doing
have
it.
done
Sam
that as an
Altman.
accident.
So look, it's not like this is unique. I basically had the same take when people were like, "Oh, hey, the CEO of United Healthcare had a family. You know, he had a wife and kids." I'm like, "Yeah, who fucking cares?" So did all the
Yeah.
people he murdered.
Yeah.
So did Charlie Kirk, you know? Oh well.
Yeah, it's such a nonsensical fucking thing to say because like yeah, so does everybody else. And it's like, I get that you can try
Yeah.
to play that card, but at the
So
same
did
time,
Hitler. He
really
got
is-
married by the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, the
Make
worst
a new
people
one.
you know,
can make a new family. What are you even sad about?
all the most horrible pieces of shit have people who are related to them and who love them. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter.
Look how many kids Elon has.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
If we base whether or
Yeah.
not people should face consequences based on the number of people that they've managed to pop out of someone else or that they've popped out of themselves, then we would never hold anyone accountable.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So another one is your space Karen's Grok that seems to be getting him in trouble, but he's now one criminal in France because
Yes, he
basically
is.
stole-
First time in
Hold on.
years France did something right.
So is it the case in the EU that there's extradition? So that if he were to land in, let's say, a certain republic, that they would be obliged to seize him and turn him over if France requested? Is that the way it goes, or is it more complicated?
Well, one thing is, the last I heard, he had failed to show up for a voluntary summons, which I don't think actually makes him a wanted criminal.
Let's find out.
I thought that there was criminal contempt. Because
You know what? If there had been, that's news to me, and I have not been following that case.
maybe
Maybe
I'm mistaken. So please correct me.
So,
if I'm wrong.
you know,
It's also possible
Either
that
way-
it could be cumulative because he has a handful of things going on in Europe and the UK overall.
Wait, what is it, Chesh?
Yeah, he'd be just hurled off to the Hague, most likely.
Elon has a couple of things going on in the UK that are different lawsuits. Some are related to property, some are related to the illegal firing of an individual. There's more than one thing going on, so it's possible there's some positive.
Chesh, are you trying to say cumulative?
Cumulative? Culminative?
Yeah.
No. Say culminative. Culminative? Did you say? You did say
Culminative is how I
culminative.
always pronounce it.
It's cumulative.
Oh,
Cumulative.
Yeah. Cumulative. Wow.
This is like when I say explanation. Exclamation.
That's true. It is.
You took that word, a word for granite. You know that, right?
Granted, I just say
That's right. Even now, I'm tossing
How
out
am
Rick
I
and Morty
breaking
quotes.
up? I shouldn't be breaking up to the at least not
One
to
of
the
these
outside
days-
at all.
One of these days, I'm just going to get a dictionary and I'm going to set Chesh down with it, and we're going to go through
Don't.
the dictionary.
No.
And she's going to say, okay, that word is culminative. And I'm like, no, Chesh, read it again.
I think everyone
Cumulative.
has at least one word that they say wrong, right?
Oh, yeah.
I have
I'm far from
many
perfect.
words that I say
Yeah, that's-
wrong all the
that's the thing.
time.
It adds to your lack of charm.
That's a charming thing. So
Remember that-
So
Remember that time that Chesh mixed up Tenga and Tegna? That was fun.
I
So
would
speaking
still
of
do that
keyboard,
again.
How
You
many
mix up
fingers
the
do goblins-
Danish and the Dutch.
I do.
They're basically the same thing. Who cares? They both
I'm-
speak silly sounding Germanic languages. That's all that matters.
Broken
I'm
German.
dumb. What do you want from me? I have a 62 IQ and I am
62,
a
yeah.
goblin. What do you want from me?
Goblins are cunning. I'm still waiting. I've known you now long enough to. We're still waiting. For
I
that
have
cunning to show.
wisdom, not intelligence. All right.
Give me. I just need a minute to complete this thing. I'll just get out and I'll be back in like 10,
How dare.
15 minutes.
Okay, bye.
So question, Chesh, how many fingers do goblins
That's what
have
happened.
in a hand?
It depends on the breed of goblin. Different goblins have different numbers of fingers.
Is it like
so
a
the
racial
range is
thing?
to what? What's the?
So like if you're looking at goblins that live near the ocean, sometimes they have webbed fingers, so they tend to have 4 because they got all webbed
Okay.
together. But sometimes they count them at all as 1, even though
How many do
there's
you have?
multiple digits.
This many.
This many, yeah. Some goblins have like the 3. Right? And
The-
some goblins have like matching toes to hands, so they have like the 3 and then they also only have 3 toes.
No wonder there's so many crusades
Is there
put
a
against the
status
priests.
thing on the goblins as far as how many digits you have, or is it just a feature? Like
It's
paperwork?
usually an additional feature. It's usually not the thing that's going to tell you exactly what type of goblin they are, because sometimes they crossbreed and they'll mix up. So like some goblins will be like, well, this is like a sea goblin, but the sea goblin is gonna have this goblin doesn't have as many fingers as the other ones, or has more fingers than the other ones.
Chesh, the real question though is, how do you feel about Skarsnik?
I don't know anything about Skarsnik. I don't know what that is. Is it like a
Oh,
parsnip?
my goodness.
Lev,
Lev, I need to go get myself some more
Oh, this is some
soju.
more
Could you tell Chesh about
Warhammer
Skarsnik?
shit. Fuck.
It is Warhammer Fantasy, so it's a little more closer to things. So, in Warhammer Fantasy, the goblins and the orcs are 2 separate groups that kind of interact, but are actually 2 separate actual like forces.
I mean, they're like that in Dungeons and Dragons as well.
True, but orcs have their big boss, and that is Grimgor, and the goblins have Skarsnik, who is the most cunning of all night goblins. And he has a giant. He's basically got his own puck in the form of a giant squig.
Got a warg.
It's a squig. It's a giant ball on legs with giant teeth that eats everything.
Oh, okay.
And the most cunning of them, and the most cunning of them, of course, is Skarsnik, and the most tough of all greenskins is Grimgor. And they are forced to work together in the end times.
I would like to point out that Ashley has pointed out that you guys only expect more from me because I am the smartest living organism if you measure relative size. I have the biggest brain.
What if I know someone shorter than you?
So now I'm
Do they
switching
have as big
to
as brain?
a Mexican beer called Victoria. Really
Ooh.
good. Light beer. I
Ooh.
highly recommend
I
it.
might have actually had that. Could you hold it up to the camera a little closer? I've seen it. I've at least seen it on shelves. I don't think I've ever
really
had
good.
it.
It is really good, really good.
So,
Mexico.
Chesh, do you now know about Skarsnik?
Big goblin boss man in Warhammer Fantasy. Yeah. The most cunning.
Yeah, that he is the most
The
cunning.
most of the cunning. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to compare what's the squig's name? Nasher or like Chomper or something like that.
I think it's Nasher, but I'm not positive.
And as his version of Puck to try to like endear, but
Squid?
it didn't quite land.
What? You don't try to endear me to my dead dog. That's not gonna work.
No, she's trying to endear you to the
fellow
squig.
goblins. Yes.
Yeah.
Squids on there. Sorry, that's the
Oh,
squid.
he's so
No, not
confrontational.
squid with a D, squig with a G.
Squig.
Squid. I thought you were saying like squid, like as in like early Kyler or something like that.
Oh.
That kind of squid.
No, a squig is a usually bipedal animal
A
that is
bull.
Why
mostly.
did you type culminative to me?
Well, there's a question mark because I wasn't sure if you were trying to say culminative because that seemed crazy.
You mean cumulative?
Yeah.
You can't tell me that something spelled C-U-L is Q noise.
Well, that's
You're
because
lying to me.
C-U-L is not how it's spelled. It's spelled C-U-M-U.
C-U-M.
L. Cum
It's nice that I'm not the drunkest person in the
And then
room.
accumulate. And accumulation. And
All right, how do you say what you sent to me?
I believe, and Dapper, correct me if I'm wrong, because you're not a linguist, isn't accumulate and that sort of thing from a Latin?
I believe it is from Latin, although I am also a little drunk. So, Chesh, I sent culminative because you kept saying culminative. And
So it's not that I'm pronouncing a word incorrectly, it's that it's a whole different word.
No, it's a word that doesn't exist. You said culminative. That's a fake word.
I invented a new word to mean the same thing?
Apparently.
I'm amazing.
That's not how I would have.
That's an amazing way of looking at things. Well
I'm
done,
great.
Cheshire. Well done, Cheshire.
Wait, are we
That's
shrinking
an outlook on life.
on the stream? Because like now the tops of land, like the top of landed.
Oh,
Ted is
it's
gone,
because
and, like, our
Manya
names
went
are gone.
away, and that messed up the layout.
Oh, okay. I was like, why are we small?
We got a Brady
Why
Bunch
are we
thing going on
tiny?
now.
Oh, that's no good. Oh, that's no
Ah.
good. Oh, no, that's no good.
I'm scared. Where do I go when it all stops?
Oh, we can do it.
Okay.
That is the worst one.
That is
So
the worst
now-
one.
I will now par bake the pizza dough for 4 minutes at 250.
Cool.
Oh.
So
I gotta
put
make
it on
dumplings.
Hey, Shesh. I remember you saying that my lighting was dog shit, and you're not the first person to say it. So I switched
that
out
what
my
I
light
said?
bulb, but now I realized that the lights still are dog shit, but now my head is extra shiny because it's an extra strong light bulb.
What
Nice.
you really gotta do.
I think
So now I've created a solar power panel. So
Let-
I'm
I'm here
green.
for that. I'm in
Do
on
I need
that.
to send you a video about 3-point lighting? Would that help?
No, because I already know what to do. I actually have a ring light sitting right there. It's just not plugged in.
How? What are you doing? What is this?
Do it right now.
Lazy.
Oh,
Do it right now.
But I look like I'm from 2009.
To be fair, this man is also
And?
he also goes by low energy videos, so like
yeah,
valid.
it is on
Do
brand.
you not see this mug?
Landon, you need
I'm
to
picking up the
T-pose.
mug.
He's just standing there.
I'm Vaporwave Incorporated. I'll end up in the digital circus.
Oh my god. What a good rum and coke night this is.
Oh, Landon, there's a fun
Yeah,
thing about
it's-
squigs. Squigs come in many subspecies, one of which is known as the hair squig.
And he brings the hair swig.
Orcs, which
Hair
cannot
squig.
normally grow hair, they will stick hair squigs onto their heads in order to form hair.
Extensively.
It's a
Where do they get the
cultural.
hair
And a bagpipe squig.
Where do they get
Behold.
where do they get the what from?
Where do they get the hair from?
Joshua is suggesting that you put the ring light
hair
above
squig.
your head so it looks like a halo. There you go.
I was already
Nice.
way ahead.
He's
of you there,
already
sweetie.
done it. Amazing.
Listen, Listen, I'm not saying I've got an ego, okay? I don't know where you're getting that from. I don't know where you're getting that concept from. I find it insulting. I know exactly my own worth, and it happens to be kind of important. Okay,
Whoa.
This is literally after I just said I'm amazing for inventing a whole new word.
Well, only one of us can be amazing.
Oh.
It would be a
I'm
low
bigger,
energy ego.
so I can just absorb you.
Letty
Lady
says you're in the
Lumo in
back
chat.
rooms too.
Yeah. You do kind of look like you're in the back rooms.
The back rooms.
One of these days, some of your art's going to be on that wall along with a bunch of other people's. So,
Quite
you
frankly,
said
I
that
think
is-
you should make streaming from the back rooms your brand. I think that'd be fucking hilarious.
Agreed.
maybe I'll get like a giant poster of the back. No. How could I make it more backward?
You can't make it more back rooms.
It's
It's already
very
the
back
back rooms. All you need to do is add like a staticky filter on the top and like a record button looping.
Every once in a while, maybe there'll just be like a glitched out, and I have like a weird face filter on that doesn't look.
Yeah,
like,
just
like whoever I'm
and it
looking-
just like glitches and then disappears.
Oh, I used to have a filter for when I used to do bearded ramblings, and I looked like the Sovereign from Venture Brothers.
Oh,
Look,
It
and
was really
Athens
weird.
is saying that that Backrooms has a new release coming at the end of the month, so you could totally ride that algorithm.
Yeah. Also, the
Ooh.
Athens says that Chesh needs to learn about the Demonculaba, and maybe, but probably not live on YouTube. That is not
Oh.
safe for YouTube.
Hi, kids. Do you like loose skin? You won't after this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorite, my favorite my favorite Chaos Warrior at all is in those books, and
Is it
that's
Hansu?
Hansu.
Yeah.
Hansu, he's the only Iron Warrior with a personality who's still alive. Hell
Okay,
yeah!
Kravik Morn has a personality in the one book that he's in, just not much of one.
Bar-baked pizza.
Nice.
It has olive oil
Ooh.
on top of it.
Ooh,
Put the now I'm gonna put the our canned tomato on it, and then pile on veggies. I got too many veggies, but I like it. I like it.
No such thing.
I'm so
I
glad
like
I'm
it
not
piled
hungry.
on, so.
Chesh,
I wolfed down a bunch.
how
of
much
potatoes.
Dune lore do you know?
Oh, not.
Like, if I said to you,
Mm-hmm.
play Laxu Axolotl Tank, what would that mean to you?
fucking nothing.
Okay.
What I heard from that is I
Vita
like
Woo.
mudkips.
That has
Well,
nothing
there
to
is a
do-
sexual. Well, there is a little bit
Well,
of sex
yeah,
going
okay.
on. Yeah, this is a smidge in a very fucked up way.
I watched the original Dune with Sting in it when I was like in high school, and then
Okay, do you remember all the body horror?
yeah. I remember a lot of that. I
Okay.
don't remember much of the plot. Like it went over. Like I didn't get it. I watched it and I was like, I don't understand anything that's
I
happening.
watched it last year for the 20th time, and I'm still moments like, that wasn't in the book, but okay.
Chesh didn't get the plot to Dune, but she did get that Sting was in a Speedo.
Yes,
He was,
I did
and
understand
he
that.
posed like this.
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah. You know, on set, he was requesting that those scenes be filmed with him nude. He wanted to just be complete dick out.
Everyone
No,
would be
valid.
100% okay with that on set. Yeah.
Valid.
Except for the studio, because they had no idea what the fuck they were getting into.
Is it
Yeah.
heresy to say that Frank Herbert should have quit while he was ahead and stopped at maybe book, I don't know, 3?
What?
No,
you
There-
it's not
don't
heresy.
like the bizarreness
They
of
got-
Chapter House Dune that makes
Oh,
no
I
sense
have
whatsoever?
I have a thing. Okay, and you're
You
guys
do.
gonna have to like hear me out. Okay, now the set should be fixed.
Hi, Manya.
Manya's back.
Hi,
I have
Manya.
a thing,
Go on.
and it's gonna like hear me out because
Right.
I think that people who are writers or directors need to finish their thing before they publish the thing. And the reason why is not because of it, like their storyline will be influenced. It's not because of fan artists like influencing them or anything like that. It's because the amount of pressure put on people like George R.R. Martin, for example,
Yeah.
is so great that he now cannot finish Game of Thrones. He can't, because no ending will be satisfying. It's the same thing with Five Nights
Gotta
at Freddy's.
push back on
Wait,
this
wait,
one.
wait, wait, wait.
Hold on,
Game
he
of
did
Thrones
finish Game of Thrones.
was
He
a
finished that.
movie that put on by
He did
Song of Ice
technically
and Fire.
finish Game of Thrones, but I
He
got
didn't finish. He didn't do it. It was Song of Ice and Fire. Game of Thrones was an adaptation of his movie that sort of paid
the
attention.
The name of the
first
first
book
book.
is
Yeah,
called Game of Thrones, so he technically finished that. He's
Landon
currently-
knows what I'm talking about. You two don't need to be pedantic about it.
Have you met
I'm
me?
not, but I'm pushing back in a different way. I think
That's
that's
fine.
only true for some of the writers. That's true. Terry Pratchett never finished all his work, and
He
and
didn't
he was
need to. He didn't need
well,
to.
he had hundreds. Well, at least it was 30 more ideas that never saw the light of day.
So
He burned
I'm
them?
going to push back again because I think you make a valid point, and it certainly applies to definitive storylines and less to worlds. Terry Pratchett has a world with stories in it as opposed to like one through line. I would also point out, for example, of course nothing is going to apply to every writer. So I would say the same thing applies to George Lucas. George Lucas should not have been allowed to make another fucking Star Wars movie. He did his 3, he should have been done.
Yes.
That doesn't mean
Yes.
nobody else can make something within the same world. It doesn't mean nobody else should be able to explore Terry
Thor
Pratchett's
was
world
amazing.
or the Game of Thrones world or Forgotten Realms or any of those. I think that should be totally fine and totally applicable. If you are going to write a story and you are going to write an epic, you should not publish it until you finished writing it.
Tolkien.
What about
The other
him?
way, if you look at
He
Douglas
didn't finish
Adams,
it.
he didn't care.
He didn't finish it until it came out in segments. Each time he was evolving it as he was doing it.
Yeah,
Yes.
the guy who wrote Aragorn, and anybody can name authors that it does and does not apply to. I'm saying an ought, not an has to.
Okay,
All right, fair. That's
fair
fair.
enough.
Yep, but
I'm saying that this should be the rule of thumb, and the reason it's not the rule of thumb is capitalism,
Wait,
and
Landon.
that's not a good reason.
Speaking of book series, have you started the Eisenhorn trilogy yet?
No.
Not yet. I'm
Haven't
working
read
on
that in
getting
years.
and the reason why is I'm working on trying to get the International Obfuscated Secret Contest winners published.
Okay.
I'm working
All right.
with David, and we're trying to get that done. That'll be come this month. But I do plan on you gave me that book, first book in particular.
Yeah,
I
Xenos.
will put a
But on the other
caveat.
hand, you said, and I want to be sure, you said that the characters in your game
Mhm.
don't know necessarily the lore. They just know a small segment.
Yeah.
Of stuff.
One of the characteristics of 40K is that any given character only knows parts of what's going on in the entire galaxy, even if it's within like their same like civilization. So like some guy on like Catachan has absolutely no idea what's going on Armageddon unless he's actually deploying there.
Pla actually also makes a valid point and says that they're bringing up the difference between like the release schedule of a series. I'm not saying that everything has to be released at the same time. That's up to marketing. That's like a whole nother slew. Like I will add a caveat and say you don't have to be completely 100% everything finished and ready in novel form. What I'm saying is your story needs to be done. Like, it needs to have an ending that you've sorted out. Like, you gotta be
You need an
done.
outline.
Yeah.
Kind of
That's
like
cute.
I'm
like it.
starting to reread the
Very
Wheel of
cute.
Time series, and I've finished it. And after a certain point, Robert Jordan died, and his son and another writer took over right at the end of it. And you can notice there's a little bit of a change, but he knew he was going to die, so he wrote down all the important parts.
Yeah.
And so, for the most part, it's probably what the book would have been like had he been alive. But what I'm wondering is if he knew when he started this that he wouldn't be around to finish the whole thing, do you think he would have done like the entire story in one big giant magnum opus manuscript that one would have been divided up and then segmented out? Because I know some very crazy writers do that, thinking that they're going to have like the biggest thing ever. Oh, it's all right up here in my head. Never trust any writer who ever says that. It can't be. It can't all right up there in your head. If
They're
it's a huge
fucking
world.
lying.
Yeah, you have a vague outline. Like
This
George-
is not
George
going
Lucas.
to make every story good, to be clear. This is simply just going to at least mean that things are finished and that writers aren't overwhelmed by popularity.
Yeah, I feel really sorry for the George R. R. Martin because he is so terrified of his fans now. Because especially
Yeah.
after the show,
he is terrified.
Yeah.
he knows he won't make them happy whatever he puts out. And I'm
Plus-
The
thinking,
same thing happened to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Plus, people keep sending him things like pictures of clocks.
Especially after Pratchett died. Yeah,
A little bit funny.
like you're not getting any younger, fat man. Keep where's our book? You know, it's not your book; it's his book in his head until he releases it. Then it's dead to the author. Then it's
Well,
your
that
book.
turns into the you don't deserve the end of the book anymore, even if it did exist, and you're making it impossible to write anyway. Like
Oh,
you
they don't
can't complete
represent
something
all
like that.
of us.
This is
don't
why
represent
this
all
is
of
what exactly what I mean. You should avoid stuff like that by making sure your story has an ending. And this, again, I'm back to the Star Wars thing. Star Wars has the same problem. It doesn't have a fucking ending.
Oh, okay. I've got this. Great. There was this a very popular
your
film a
nose.
few years ago. Apparently, I do, and I don't even know who it is. You all have your own nose. You all have your noses. Whose nose is
Landon's.
this?
I can't see Landon's nose.
Oh,
Landon, I'm no.
Oh,
Wait.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
God, this is
not
so
again. I'm sorry.
and then the back room happens. See, this is such a good fucking bit.
All right. So basically, the
Pre-cheese
a few years ago,
taco.
there was a very
Nice.
there was a movie out, and it was like Fault in Our Stars or something. What was the movie where the girl was dying of cancer and she was obsessed over this book, and they went to see the author because she
Sounds like the
didn't
Fault in Our
finish it.
Stars.
Yeah, I think
And
you're right.
the author is like having a drink at a bar and he's minding his own business, and they come up and they basically like, how does it end? And he's like, oh well, I guess it just ends this way. And they don't like the ending. And it's like, well, I'm sorry, but that's how it ends. Like, but we need to know what happens after. He's like, where does any fictional character go? I don't know. It's not as a big deal to me. As it is
I'm
to
an
you.
author. I'm drunk and hate the world. What do you want from me?
Yeah, I like that approach to it because a lot of people don't get that. Like a lot of artists and a lot like Stephen King's like this. He is like I think it's called like The Orphanage, where for $5,000 you can basically just rent out one of his IPs he doesn't give a single fuck about. He wrote over like a long weekend, and you can.
Yeah.
That's where you got all those terrible TV movies with his name strapped onto it. Like he was coked out of his gills when he wrote this thing. He's like, I don't fucking care. Here's a script, 300
Yeah.
pages. Where's my money? You know.
I also don't know. I don't know how to solve George R. R. Martin's current problem. The only thing I can think of is to write multiple endings and then release them after you die.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is such a
simultaneously.
cop out.
Whichever ending you
Oh.
like
No,
is the
it's
real
not.
one.
I don't think it's a
It's
cop
not. It's
out.
like, actually, that's a very good strategy. You know why? Because different fans were expecting different ending. All will come together and they will buy whatever they
It's
want.
Yeah,
it's
how
a
Baldur's
cop out.
Gate
It's
have
it would be a cop out if you wrote a bunch of endings and then market tested them and then mass released one of them. That would be a cop out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All
Here,
right,
how about
that's
this? The last book in the series, A Song of Ice and Fire, is actually a choose your own adventure book.
Make it fucking a goddamn Goosebumps book. That'd be fucking hype.
Make it a pop-up book. Where,
Choose your own adventure book. Yes.
do you remember those
I like it.
spoof ideas they had for the show where it was going to show like the future of Westeros, like modern day retelling of the Song of
Oh my
Ice?
god,
Yeah,
he's just
and the
suddenly he's playing D&D Modern.
dragons are it's basically just like the dragons are stealth bombers. And
I'm
shit.
pretty I'm pretty sure I
Oh.
still have Urban Arcana from like 3rd edition on my shelf.
I have a
Hell,
book
Shadowrun,
that
you could
is
argue.
taking place during the Napoleonic Wars, and Napoleon is a character in the book that is like an enemy force, and they've added dragons to the story.
Yes, because society would follow exactly the same way as if we had dragons in our world.
Oh, I
so-
assure you it definitively is not, but I think they're sticking with, like, Poland exists and England still happened, and also they're trying to get along
Poland
with the
always
Chinese.
do they have a different, more Eastern dragon over in China?
Ooh, I hope
So, well, actually, the story is following along the lines of an English man who has got an Eastern dragon.
Oh, okay.
And so like the Eastern dragon has like a little bit of a different temperament and is treated very differently in China and in like the Asian areas. The dragons are just treated wholly differently. Whereas like in Europe they're treated like horses. Like a little bit better, but basically like horses, as opposed to like in China where they're treated as like royalty.
Okay, so I have this. There's a channel out there called
I'll go find the book.
Weightless Hub or like Knowledge Hub. It's basically alternate history, right? The guy who does
Oh, yeah,
alternate
yeah.
history, Cody. He threw out this idea of what happened if dragons were real, and he's like, well, society would be so like human society, if it existed at all, would follow so many different paths because we'd have to live in a world with giant fire-breathing flying monsters, and we couldn't build cities the way we do, and we couldn't like have civilization the way we could. It's very similar to whenever Chesh is like playing our Nuzlocke and we're talking about why does the Pokemon Society need reactors and like fucking airplanes and shit when they have basically Pokemon to do anything that they ever want.
A lot of theory crafting, yeah.
Yeah, like why would there be a human society? There'd either be like a post-scarcity society, or we'd all be living in caves, terrified of the monsters that would eat us.
Yeah, Aragon, where they're treated like batteries. Yeah. Okay, so these are the books. There's 3 of them.
His Majesty's. Oh, I've heard of His Majesty's Dragon.
This is the front of the front is the 3rd one. This is the 1st one. Black Powder War, and that is basically the main dragon on the front. If you're interested, so the second novel, it says in the second novel of the New York Times best-selling series, The Napoleonic Wars take Captain Will Lawrence and his dragon to China on a perilous mission.
I respect the dragon looming over the Forbidden Palace.
Yeah, the arts are really the art's really nice. If you're like the cover art.
Rough Crossing, the Forbidden City, and good old-fashioned London.
Yeah, it's really nice. So
London,
if you're
London.
interested, they're pretty solid. They're a pretty solid series so far. But if you're interested, and also actually, if you're interested, if you look at the 1, 2, and 3, if you put them in the correct
I help
order,
you line them up right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know what they're
right.
going for. And
can't be me.
By
The
the way-
dragon is.
Chesh, what the hell is on your calendar? Is that a forestry? Is that like lumberjacks?
Yeah, that's a tiger cat machining for lumber.
I mean, that's pretty cool, but my calendar has Ultix.
Yeah, but we can't see your
Oh,
calendar.
we flexing calendars now.
Mine is by the American Astronomical Society and has moons and
My calendar's the New
Representing
Zealand
local
one.
industry. My one's from
Great
Goodio
lucky.
Chipper. Here's their
Nice.
phone number. Order chips for me, please.
I think we would have to know your address to order chips for you.
No, all you have to say is Dylan would like a bunch of chips, and then someone says, "Oh, I ordered
know.
you chips." Then I go out, and then I'll be like, someone ordered you a bunch of chips," and I'm like, "Goodbye, diet. I found a new life hack."
Athens wins. Athens wins because Athens has a calendar that has Puck on it because Athens took a screenshot and took a picture of Puck and submitted it to a cute dog competition submission for
Aw.
a calendar, and Puck I think got November if I remember correctly.
That's awesome.
That's a
Isn't
good
it so
month
cute?
for
Oh, he's
Puck.
September. Sorry, September.
A winter month would be good for Puck. He had a big fluffy coat.
Okay, but
He
I do have
also
to
really
say,
liked snow.
I mean, Ultix does become like the king of the flayers. So, like, spoilers, by the way, for that book.
Spoilers.
But Ultix is a pretty cool guy to have on a calendar.
That is pretty cool.
Have you
Okay.
ever
I'm switching out my shirt.
have you ever secretly become the king of all the Necrons infected with the Flayer virus?
No, but you know what I have done? I've not been infected with the flare virus, so I'm just winning.
Look,
Can
it
you be
turns out
infected
it's
in the
not
back
so
rooms?
bad. With the Flayer virus?
Yes,
Mm.
and I don't think you'd want that combo because you don't want to be dealing with anything there because sometimes they
but
absorb.
This is my work laptop,
Okay.
and I got it from a
Cute.
predecessor. It's like, and on this also, I'm just gonna cover this. I got hamster stickers.
So here's my,
Just
Here's-
saying,
here's,
talking about viruses, there's new hentai virus that's going on that came on a cruise ship.
I could have sworn Manu just said hentai virus. That does look
That's
good.
what I heard.
Oh,
I also
that's
heard
not
hentai
bad.
virus.
Don't dare.
5 the daybreak is real.
Manu's like, watch out, guys. There's a new hentai virus. You download the wrong hentai and you get the virus. I don't know how I know this, but watch out.
My eyes are just glowing
Don't
red.
chuck this on
Oh,
your
I think
head.
I know.
All right, what's Landon? Landon, what are you trying to tell us about your pizza?
That's what it
Yes,
looks like
please.
before it goes in the oven. Right, I've got the
Okay.
olives and the cheese and other things on it. It's going to be definitely piled high. Stuff
It looks
we'll
like
see.
a one singular giant nacho.
Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
I think it's going to take. I think it's going to take maybe, probably close to 15 minutes to bake, given how big
Oh,
it is.
Yeah, that
Really?
looks
Wow.
like it's got the number of toppings that should be spread across 2 pizzas.
Yes.
Yeah, it
Also,
looks like
I
a
got for work-
centerpiece in a restaurant like table. Like
Is that a
really fancy
koala?
restaurant table?
The number
That's
of
a-
people
that's a
that just respond with
capybara.
hentai virus where, and I have the hentai virus is already like, nah.
Actually,
Is that
a
I got
stapler?
That's capybara stapler.
Wait, are you sure
Did you
it's not
also
koala?
buy that from
stapler.
Temu?
Yes.
Oh, I guess it is.
Are you shopping like a millionaire? Are you shopping
He
like a
is.
millionaire?
Mania's addicted to
That's from
Temu.
This
I
is
don't
from
fucking-
Timu.
Oh, Tom says he's gonna go to
Oh,
A&W for dinner.
Timu.
A&W in Canada is fucking rad.
Well, that's good because in the U.S.
We're gonna
it's
have
it
Garbage,
exists.
trash, a crime, illegal.
I mean,
the time
I've
I
had
had
A&W
is
in
fine.
Florida.
And
I
got these.
Disgusting.
I have to go.
I got these like cute hangings, and these are also from Timu. Look, these are also
make
from
it-
Timu.
Nice.
Oh my
Manya,
god,
do you-
Mania.
You seem to have a thing for cute animal cartoons.
Of course I do.
Manya, have you ever watched
fair.
Hamtaro?
No.
Oh my god.
How do you love this stuff but not know Hamtaro?
I'm sending her Hamtaro. Hold on.
She needs
I'm
to know.
I'm pulling up
Also,
Hamtaro right
show
the
her
fuck
Vanilla
now.
Ham Ham. If anyone remembers Vanilla Ham
Oh yeah.
Ham.
By the way, these magnets, these astronaut magnets, these
Yes.
are also from Timu. All right. This caffeine
Sponsored by Timu.
like chemistry representation, organic chemistry representation of caffeine. Timu.
Manya
this
is
is-
single-handedly supporting a small Chinese village.
Yeah, she
And
is.
this
Never.
is the
A
footprint
small
of
Chinese
Proton.
village of 40 million people. This is small.
All
right,
This
you
is
guys-
the footprint of Proton that stays behind me all the time.
Is
Oh.
it chemically accurate caffeine, or is it
Are-
pseudo caffeine?
Chemically accurate.
Caffeine, chemically accurate.
Yeah, your thing on the
Okay,
background.
what are we watching? Hamtaro? Oh, okay.
All right, ready?
Ready?
Yeah.
And she immediately falls in love.
We like sunflower seeds, crumb. If she heads for trouble, we won't let her. Little hamsters, big adventures. Laura's gone to school, let's go to our ham clubhouse. We can fix their troubles, just be quiet as a mouse. Watch out for those cats, you know they're smarter than you think. But if we work together, we can make their plan sink. Woo! Snoozer, howdy, Penelope, Panda.
Oh my god. Oh my
Oxnard,
god.
Bijou, Cappy, Max. Look, I'm gonna run in my wheel. Whee! Hamtaro's here to help you. Hamtaro team is for you.
Good. Ah, cutie.
Cute rodents. Don't worry. There's plenty
Squishy.
of there's plenty of capitalism for you. There's so
All
much
right,
merch.
so I'm gonna have to make.
There is
we're
so
gonna have
much
to.
merch.
We're gonna have to watch Hamtaro, and then I'm gonna have to make. I'm gonna have to make Manya play. Would you fuck it?
Shesh, your evil mind is why I keep coming back for more. It's so
Also,
sinister and cruel. More.
Also, I'm not sure why, but it's like today we decided to bully Manya when normally we bully Chesh most of the time.
I know, right?
I always feel like you're bullying me.
because I brought
Well-
up Timu, obviously I was asking for
Okay,
it, you know.
completely-
So.
No, we started bullying you earlier. We were bullying you with the hantavirus, which you said a lot like hentai virus, and then that
Yeah.
became a thing.
That's where it started. Look, you pronounced something wrong, or like slightly to the side, or not even incorrectly, but was just misheard, and now your life is ruined. Welcome to my world.
Yep, that's how it goes.
The wall is calling to me.
Although
Oh.
earlier
Oh,
you
yeah?
By the
were
way-
going into like, well, what if it's a stepmother, which was like, come on, you can't tee us up like that and then expect us
I
not to
was
take a
being
swing.
technical. What the fuck?
I was being.
A very technical type of technical.
Mm. Yeah, that's how it technically gets by the the community guidelines on those more permissive websites. Is by saying
I'm more
stepmother.
focused on that amazing feature in Crusader Kings with the Zoroastrian faith where family members can intermarry.
So
That's
we're
a
gonna
great
have
Yay.
to.
feature in a game.
We're gonna have to forcibly
Okay.
make Manya take a little bit of time off so she can watch Hamtaro with us in Discord.
Seems
Forcibly.
reasonable.
Forcefully. Someone tells me it won't be very forceful after she saw that opening.
No, she
Yeah,
want to watch the show.
Manya
It's just whether or not
never
she's gonna take the
stops
time
working.
off. Yeah,
Yeah.
Look,
that's
I already have that fucking.
it's very cute. You're very adorable.
Oh, by the way, there's a channel that's having a fucking meltdown right now with just 5 people watching them. And I'm
Oh,
just like,
That's
I'm
rough.
just
Is
going
it,
back and checking them time and again, and I see every time
Mine.
the watch count like jump to like 6 every time I click on their stream, and I'm just like, the 6th one is me.
I love my existence irritating people. It's
You know
a good
what? That-
time.
That reminds me of you guys remember
power you
Arwen, the
can't
flat
buy.
earther?
Who?
Oh, they finished.
Arwen was he's a like I presume he's still a flat earther, but he used to have like basically he used to have a YouTube channel.
That
And he would
sounds
go
familiar.
live all the time, usually shirtless. And with his
Oh.
crossbow in the background, he will get very, very angry if you call a crossbow.
Oh, why? Is
and
it
when he
something
would-
else?
According to him, yeah.
Arquebus.
Oh,
I
Sam
don't-
Altman.
But anyway, one of his favorite tricks back when he still had a YouTube channel before he got banned from the platform was to say like, "Hey, if I don't get this much in my PayPal, I'm never going to stream again." And then he would get not that in his PayPal, and then he would stream
I'm-
again anyway. And he kept doing this over.
I'm gonna
and
say
over
that
and over.
right now, and then I'm not gonna provide my PayPal.
Yeah.
Onision did the same thing, except he would hound people in email. He'd find former Patreons and send them being like, "You used to send me $1. What?
Oh,
I'm not
God.
good enough for $1 anymore."
Oh,
Didn't
Yeah.
Onision like make
Oh.
money though for like a considerable amount of
he
time?
did. Yeah.
He
gross.
made a fortune, but as his whole life fell apart, so did his income, and then it was a self-fulfilling prophecy of him.
Well, yeah, he
becoming a
doesn't seem like the
low-value
type
rapper.
who would be smart with their money in a way that he didn't blow it all in the first like.
Look, you know Billy the Fridge. Go and talk to him. The
Yeah.
stories that came out of Billy after the fact. Oh my fucking! You know he would never make
Hmm.
eye contact with servers because
Gross.
he as he said, I'm never going to see these people again. So why should I give them? Why should I try to remember who they are?
I mean,
You don't have. Nobody said any of that. You don't have to equate those things. But also,
Yeah,
gross.
basic human dignity.
Right?
Yeah. Gross.
No, there are
Orange.
many wells.
Look,
many
a lot
deep,
of-
dark wells.
A lot of people have been on my Patreon and are no longer on my Patreon. And you know what? I just assume, hey, something came up. Maybe they need that money. It's fine. Whatever. I don't. The thing I try to remember, right? As someone who basically lives almost entirely off of people giving me money on the internet,
Yeah.
is that none of these people owe me a damn thing.
Yeah.
Like, there are a whole lot of people who give me money on the internet, and none of them have to. The only exceptions are on the occasions that I take art commissions, in which case, yes, you do owe me money because I'm providing a service that you're paying for.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything is people opting to give me money. And if you opt to stop, you never owed me that money in the first place. So I have absolutely no business coming after you. The only time I ever let anyone know is sometimes people who are like very dedicated and big parts of like really super active in the Discord. And I'm like, hey, by the way, your card was declined on Patreon. Just letting you know. But
Yeah,
if
that's
you
more
just,
you're
like,
doing
tell
them a
someone-
favor to let them know that something's fucked up, potentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not because you're trying to convince them to give you money.
I must say, Deborah, I'm happy to support you on Patreon because your videos are both entertaining and informative, right? You just don't say nah, but I actually learn bits of stuff because I'm not a
I need Dapper to write ads
not
for
a
me.
linguist.
Did you see my stream today? Because my stream today got into a lot of topics that I don't normally talk about with linguistics. And so if that's something you don't know about, go check out my video from today because you will learn things about
is Hebrew a real language? Is that
yeah.
That's
So we're talking about a guy, Ammon Hillman, who says that Hebrew was basically made up in like the 2nd or 3rd century BCE by Greek-speaking Jewish scribes in Egypt, presumably. And like we went through historical, linguistic, and archaeological reasons why that's a really fucking dumb thing to say.
That seems ridiculous.
Dapper, I know there's a chance you
and
might not
Fish
be in
was
the
on there as
stream
well.
with me tomorrow,
I saw. Right?
Dapper, I know there's like a chance that you won't be able to stream me tomorrow because like your computer still needs some
this
work,
computer
right?
can run Space Marine, but it's really bad at it.
Look, if you can't, you can't. That's fine. But I no matter what, do remind me tomorrow to go back and watch that stream because I once sat down and just listened to a massive lecture series on the evolution of the of Judaism, starting from like prehistory until basically today, and one of which was the introduction of the Greek philosophies into the post-Alexander area of the Levant. Yeah, and how that influenced that shit leading up to Pompeii. Yeah. So I actually understand. So I might understand some of the things he will say, which is so rare for me to say. I'm actually excited. I get to be useful.
Yeah, I've been trying to get to it, but you guys are really excited. My Unfinished Journey for 5 says, the tricky thing is figuring out which unique things are due to the Canadian accent such dialect and which are due to the goblin, shrugging emojis, trans pride flag, pow, and trans flag. Yeah.
Remember that time that we were working on making a goblin conlang and then we just never continued and then that channel went away?
Yeah, I remember.
We should do something like that again. We should like start back up or something.
That would be fun. On the other hand, you do need to pick your topic that you want to do for a lecture. So let me know.
Oh.
I've already got Landon's. Landon's is done.
Wow.
Oh.
I have to think about this. I might actually ask you, Chesh, for advice because like what do you think I know about that people want to hear?
I mean, I think
tell me later.
All right, okay.
Tell me later.
All right. We'll keep it a secret.
On that exact same vein there, Chesh, did you remember what you thought I asked from you? Because you did.
No, you never actually said anything. You just said, "Oh, I've got some ideas," and then that was it.
Oh, here it is out of the oven.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, that's accurate. Ooh, look at that crust.
I'm getting hungry now. I have half.
I'm still too.
You have to let it sit before you do things, and then, of course, I'm cleaning up because I have a thing where I don't eat until the kitchen is clean again.
That is something I know a lot of people do that, and it's a dead art now, and I think it's a very smart way of going about it because afterwards you might get too full or too distracted, and then it doesn't get done until tomorrow. And what happens if you don't have the time to clean tomorrow? Then it starts building up. Yeah, Landon knows.
The struggle is already like, no.
White person pizza, whiter person pizza. I think there's a very healthy collection of stuff. If it was a white person pizza, it'd be a whole lot more pork.
Aren't pizzas
Also-
Italian? Isn't that kind of already white?
Yeah.
Ooh, do you want to open that can of
Well,
worms?
yeah, that's the degree to which that's the degree to which Italians are white, which varies depending on time and place.
Listen, the
And
only
how
the
far
only
north or
time
south
I
we're
am
going.
going, the only time I'm going to say that there is a racism problem about white people is going to be that white people is not an accurate description of fucking anybody. We need some better fucking
yeah.
terms here. We need a little bit more like variety.
But, like,
The only-
European.
One-
Let's start with that.
I don't think we should. I think if we white people means like suburban Americans.
Well, so that's
Not
part of the
to
thing, though, is
me.
historically, like in the United States, Italians and Irish people were not considered white until well into the 20th century.
No,
Right.
He is correct, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That and white people limit you're a male and property owner. Because women
Same with the
can't.
Welsh, the Cornish, and the Manx, and the
Yes.
the Brittany
Well, the
people
Manx
as well.
deserve it. What with their secret little island that no one knows about?
How
off
dare
the
they
coast
have
in the middle of
bikes that go
nowhere?
super fast
Ah.
and
And then they have their own breed of cats. What's up with that? This is ridiculous.
Well, they think there's something just because their police could have those birches that they were allowed to hit you up to the 70s with. Apparently they heard a
Tom
lot.
Riddle is asking me a question in the chat about what do I think about Swiss Chalet, and they haven't eaten there yet. I had Swiss Chalet ruined for me in high school because I heard a rumor about a story from a guy, from a neighbor, from a guy about one of the guys who went to, that went to the high school that wasn't the high school I went to, but I knew a guy who went to, who was working at Swiss Chalet and spending time fucking the chickens in the back. So I never went to Swiss Chalet again.
Jesh's Italian is coming out strong today, I've noticed. My
I
God,
do-
you've been talking with your hands for the past hour.
Oh, I do that all the time. I am not sure
No,
how
more than
true
normal.
that thing was. I did hear it from a reliable source, but I don't know if they were actually there. But also, I haven't been to Swiss Chalet since. So
I gotta
I'm not a
say,
good
if you
person
wanna-
to ask.
If you're a guy and you want a UTI, fucking a chicken in a restaurant is a quick way to get that.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Especially when you use one of the many sauces as lube.
How do you know that?
Because chickens are full of horrible bacteria.
Okay.
I mean, I think all animals come with a risk of it, and like barnyard animals are definitely going to be a higher.
Well, I mean, even
tier.
humans
Yeah,
come
and
with the risk of if you're
corpses-
fucking, you're gonna get a UTI if you're not careful.
Corpses are at an even higher tier than just barnyard animals. I'm pretty sure that
Valid.
if you're a guy and you're fucking a live chicken, you're at a lower risk for a
Someone
UTI than you are if you're
Photoshop
fucking
a tier list
chicken
of
corpse.
barnyard animal of STDs next to me.
we gotta make it,
Alright.
yeah, tier, yeah.
So I can get like a stick and go like, now class, today we're going to learn about chicken, pig, goat.
I mean,
All right, I'm gonna
fair, but
ask
also,
chat-
UTI is not normally considered a sexually transmitted disease.
I'm gonna ask chat 2 questions. First off, if you were fucking a corpse, what corpse is it likely to... A fresh one. We'll call it fresh-ish. Fresh enough
Gross.
that it's not, like, rotting. Which
That's your
animal
Chesh
is
is gonna
going to
get a
be
community
most...
guidelines
It's gonna be most likely to
Burns.
give you a UTI. The second question is... Who's the whitest race?
I can tell you right now, the whitest race is the Ohioans.
I ain't saying anything.
Ohio.
Ohio is the whitest race by far, and everyone knows
I mean,
it. And,
Yeah, it's hard to argue against that.
right? Because
Like, maybe Wisconsin?
No, Wisconsin's got too much personality. Ohio is.
Okay, I
white
didn't know lack of
America.
personality was one of the.
The
Requirement.
fucking whitest milk toast of bread is Ohio.
Wait,
If you want Wonder Bread, you go to Columbus.
what about Martha's Vineyard though?
Oh no, that's the good. That's the pumpernickel bread. You know, that's a little bit better bread. You know, like, there's money in Martha's Vineyard, which means
Yeah,
you can
lots
buy
of
a
it.
personality.
Yeah, we're sorry, Athens. No, we're not talking about an individual. We're talking about a group of people.
All right.
Oh, Finnish.
so-
Tom says the Finnish are the whitest people.
No,
They don't even speak
because
an Indo-European language. Get out of here.
Yeah, get back to Hungary and fucking Mongolia while you're at it.
Right? Freaking Finno-Ugric. No one whose native language is Finno-Ugric can be the whitest. You can be white, but you can't be the whitest. No.
You could be cool, you could be chilled with, and you could be one hell of a sniper.
Oh yeah.
But Jesus fucking Christ, you're not.
You can
going-
absolutely be one hell of a sniper. God damn.
I actually we had Inquisitor Naira on Bearded Ramblings a couple of times, and no shock to anyone, her ma was a sniper, but she was not the White Death, but she
Okay.
knew the White Death.
Ooh, that's
So
super
that's
fucking
very
cool.
right. And get this, she was also a ballerina. Naira was a ballerina at one point, and
Oh.
she showed me the most. Hardcore move she once pulled off, and it's now technically illegal. And she showed me the
Jeez.
footage of another girl doing it, and she's like, "I was like, what if you tried that today?" And she's like, "I die." Like I was 17 and I weighed as much as a thimble.
I would have a hard time believing that anybody outside of the current United States would be the whitest of people.
You know what? Tom Riddle makes a good point in that Basque is like a remnant of pre-Indo-European language in Europe, which
Ooh.
makes them the most European of the Europeans.
I hung out with a Basque guy
Valid.
for a while. We had a double date with him, and he didn't have the giant earlobes, and I felt very
No.
sad about it. And he knew it. He looked across the table at me and was like, "You want me to have the earlobes, don't you?" And I was like, "I'm so sorry. That's really racist. Like everyone says it, but especially in France, they all expect us to have the giant earlobes."
But did he
Like,
have a cheesecake? Because the Basque are also famous for cheesecakes.
No, but he did talk about cheesecake, and that's how I learned
Okay.
that they are famous for it. But I deeply respect the Basques. I really love them. Big shock the Irish have solidarity with people who are oppressed. But wow, we like Palestinians. Who'd have thunk it?
Wow,
but-
what?
But
Wait, hold on. There were Native American tribes in the U.S. who helped out during the potato famine because they
and
also felt
we
solidarity.
won't shut up about it. I think most
Yeah.
tribes have forgotten about it, but we built monuments
No, they
in honor to tribes.
So they don't go on and on about it because that was them helping out as opposed to being helped. But like they still recognize the solidarity in a lot of places in the U.S.
Yeah.
and like places with a lot of Native people.
So along the quays in Dublin, there is a beautiful, haunting statue.
Oh, I
that
love
was
that
made in
thing.
the 70s. Oh, do you know what I'm talking about? The one
Oh,
with
yeah.
Yeah. That is all right. Hold on. Yep. So she wants to say something.
I was thumbs upping chat.
Oh,
okay.
no, describe the statue. It's so cool.
Okay, so the statue is it's a representation of people going to the coffin ships. Basically, a lot of your ancestors in the chat there, and
My ancestor was a stowaway on a different ship.
Oh, there's a story there, as all stories are. They should always start with a ship. But the statue is of a mother, and I believe the father's not there. Am I right?
He probably already starved.
He probably joined one of those failed rebellions against a landlord to get some corn.
Yeah.
Trevelyan corn, hence the song.
It's also possible he went earlier to try and get some money to help pay for passage. That's also a possibility.
It's possible. Just as likely he starved and then they sold the house, or was sold the house. They were very politely by the landlord and a bunch of thugs to leave. But yeah, it's basically brass, and they're all in rags, and they're all heading off starving, and that's where the boats would have lined up in Dublin. But the thing is, here's the thing: most people who left Dublin, they ended up in Liverpool or Australia. If you want the Irish who went over to America, you go over to places like Westport in County Mayo. That's where you'll find the old warehouses that are now all apartments, but the warehouse structures are still there. Yeah. And along those quays, so many people's ancestors got on those ships and went across to America, Canada, and occasionally Hispanic-speaking countries like I know Mexico has a good few chunks of them, and also South America as well, places like Peru.
My great grandfather stowed away on a cargo ship that was going to the U.S. from Ireland, and he was from County Clare. And then when he snuck off the ship after it made port in the U.S., he then saved up enough money to get my great grandmother a ticket over to the U.S. Legally. So then she went over there, and then her mom died in County Clare, but did not have a grave marker. Apparently, no one who had money cared enough to get her a grave marker. So my dad,
Wow.
not long after getting his Irish passport, went over and paid for and installed a grave marker for her in the graveyard she's buried in County Clare. So I appreciate that he did that, because you know what? She was an ancestor of mine. She deserves to have at least her name and the dates of her death and birth somewhere in the graveyard where she's buried.
You want to know something fucked up about Ireland's geography? If you look at our Google Maps, you will find so many place names that I guarantee you are just fields now.
Yeah.
Ireland has a lot of spare land that has been turned into farms, but at one point these have been small hamlets of 5 or 10 people, and they are still on the maps, but they're all gone now, and that's what the famine did.
Oh, Lev. So
Wow.
you know how there's a city called Derry
This
or
is
Londonderry,
how
depending
you cut
on.
pizza.
Oh, nice.
It's
Not
dead,
about that.
but
I know.
you know,
What I was going to say is
Right.
basically depending on whether you're a Protestant or a Catholic.
of course.
So in
Lovely
New
town.
Hampshire, in the U.S., there are 2 cities next to each other called Derry and Londonderry, and you can figure out how those got started.
Nice. I can also imagine that Londonderry is the one with the money.
So at this point, it's pretty much equaled out because, like, you know, it's been a while. But
Yeah.
But I had a professor, an Irish professor, when I was in school in Massachusetts, and she spent almost an entire class day talking about the fact that the U.S. just solved this problem by having 2 cities next to each other with each name, and that was
Well, you
like
know
all
what?
we
We
talked
don't
about
have
for
the
that one
land.
day.
So if we had the more space, the north would be less of a problem.
Yeah. Oh, one of my best friends in college made the weird decision to be a Catholic who prefers that the North remain part of the UK after moving to the North. And I was like, why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you going to be a
let's hear the
monarchist
logic.
Catholic? What are you doing?
Let's hear the logic.
I
I
don't.
might have heard it.
I don't.
So
I
the
feel like of all the places to be a monarchist,
No,
Catholic.
no, you need to keep up, my friend. That is unfortunately a growing trend because Catholics,
weird.
especially the trad calf motherfuckers.
Oh god damn, you're right. I forgot about those assholes. Fuck.
Yeah, the Vatican 2.0. Yeah, and they
Oh, the trad
SpaghettiOs.
fucking cats. God damn it.
So explain to me what are you talking about?
I don't want to describe trad cats. I'm gonna go get more booze. I can't fucking talk about trad
all I'm gonna
cats.
say is
without
Nick
more
Fuentes.
booze.
If you know who Nick Fuentes is,
I've
then you
heard
know
that
what the
name.
Vatican
I
2.0 is.
I heard that name, but I couldn't pick him out of the lineup.
All right, Landon. I will quickly, because apparently no one else is going to do it, describe trad cats. So, have you heard of the Second Vatican Council, Landon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the Second Vatican Council, for those who don't know, is largely a council that had to do with basically modernizing the Catholic Church. It's the reason why you can go to Mass in your local language. It's also the reason why they flipped the altars around. So now the altars face west instead of east.
Reformed, as it was called at the time.
So basically, if you ever gone to a Catholic Mass and the priest was facing you as he'd said the Mass, that's because of Vatican II. So trad cats are basically overall Catholics who do not like the reforms of Vatican II and prefer things like the Latin Mass. They prefer the priest to face east. By the way, if you're in a Catholic or Eastern Orthodox or Oriental Orthodox church, the direction facing the altar is east, regardless of the actual cardinal directions that the church faces. So just heads up there.
They
Generally
just
speaking-
changed the
Paulicans.
Well, so
Paulicans don't do that.
the ideal for those churches is that they be built such that the entrance faces west if you're looking out from the church, and that if you're in the main body of the church facing the altar, you're facing east, and that they be built that way. But there's also, like, you know, geometry exists, like geography
Based off
exists.
the old Roman basilica.
But anyway, so trad cats have become their own little like subsect within Catholicism, and some of them in the U.S. have recently decided that maybe they need their own anti-pope.
Mhm.
And they
Whoa.
also have a huge tendency to be raging anti-Semites. And perhaps the best known anti-Semitic trad cath in the United States, at least, is Mel Gibson.
I was actually going to say Nick Fuentes doing the whole.
Well, how about for those of you who might not be like terminally online in political spaces involving the U.S., Mel Gibson is probably going to be the most well-known American trad cath, anti-Semite.
Oh.
That's fair. That's valid.
Yep. All right, so now I'm gonna go get more booze because I just had to explain fucking trad cats with insufficient booze.
Sorry. Kinda.
How
Boss
dare
just
you?
told me so much shit that it's kind of glazed over, but I knew a lot of this stuff because for a brief period, I mean, really brief, a week, I stayed with that breakaway Spanish Catholic church group that have a few chapters here in Ireland. An expose out of TV3 basically floored them, and I recognized a lot of the faces. But it's run by this guy who believes that he's the true pope, based off, if anyone knows, the Avignon popes back in the Middle Ages.
Yes.
Well, when they agreed that they're moving back to Rome, not every cardinal, not every bishop agreed. And very slowly they moved into Spain as a political sort of pawn. And then this kind of became its own cult. And they still have a church in Spain. You wouldn't think that would be Spain of all people, you know, hardcore fundamentalist.
You're talking about the Palmyrans?
Yeah, I was for a week hanging out with those motherfuckers. And they
when did they?
I remember I was a neo-Nazi. I was experimenting with some weird stuff. Yeah, this wasn't even the weirdest thing.
When did the Spanish group form? Because wouldn't have. I would think things like the Inquisition would have said, "You're naughty."
This was the 20th century, Landon, when this church formed. The Spanish Inquisition had long since gone away.
Yeah, the proto stuff, Palmarin church. Because every once in a while,
I have something that I really need to ask. It's really, really important. Landon, how's the pizza?
It is excellent. It is excellent. It is yummy.
Nice.
Mukbang Landon.
Hear the crunch.
It's got that little bit of crunch.
I can hear it.
What's the prominent flavor?
I would say
starch.
Olives.
Wine.
Not with that flatbread.
And garlic.
Okay.
And oregano would be the primary things.
Mania's having an existential crisis. Mania is distracted right now. She's busy looking at hamsters and sending me videos of hamsters.
I love that we set her off a path. By the way, Mania, your manic eyes, it's kind of hot.
I also say, I don't know if you guys noticed, I also say hamsters with a P. There's no P in hamsters.
It's true.
Oh, now you're correct. Oh no, we've given her a complex.
Do you know about
yourself all
night? Oh no, I've been long aware of this.
Do you know about the humster?
No.
The hamsters.
The
hamsters from Hampstead.
No. You HUMSTER humster. Does anyone know about this?
I don't know about this.
Okay, a hamster.
Stop spoiling hamsters for me, Dapper. I swear to God.
A hamster is not a hamster. It is a hybrid animal whose father is a human and whose mother is a hamster. And they are real.
Do they smell like elderberry?
No one knows.
Stop.
So what happens is this is not really done much anymore, but it used to be that there was a test for male infertility where you would take a hamster ovum and remove the zona pellucida, which is a membrane around the outside of the cell, check for compatible proteins, and then you would get a sperm sample from the male whom you were testing for infertility. And if the sperm could penetrate and fertilize the hamster ovum, which you could tell because the hamster ovum would then start dividing because you had created a hamster, then you knew that the male was not infertile for reasons of inability for his sperm to fertilize an ovum. And the resulting organisms are called hamsters, and they only go through like 8 or so levels of cell division, but they are still things that have existed that are hybrids of humans and hamsters.
I have heard of this. I did not know what they were called.
So does what does the Catholic Church say as far as are they life?
I have no idea. I've never asked. I've never asked that.
Yeah.
Call the Pope.
Will they see?
Are we done?
Will they come back on the Judgment Day?
Do they have souls?
Look, I
This
don't
is so
know.
good.
Did Dante meet them in Purgatory, in Paradiso? What's going
Look,
on?
one of the things that makes it a little bit complicated is that, like, for a very long time, the Catholic stance on ensoulment was actually the quickening, which is when, like, the baby starts moving around and you can feel it, like, kicking and whatnot. And that was when the baby had a soul. And before that, the general statement from, like, Catholic theologians and, church fathers and whatnot was that before the quickening, abortion was distasteful, but not necessarily like a sin. Like, it was kind of icky. I mean, to be fair, like, medical procedures are often icky, so, like, sure, I guess, why not? But not really a sin. But then they were like, oh well, what if we're wrong and we're actually like murdering like babies that have souls? And there was
Did Jesus die for hamster sins?
That's the real question,
So,
but
yeah, that's the thing.
Dapper, seeing that you know so much about this, why don't you tell them about the female sperm?
Before you go
Stop!
on about
What?
that, I think we need to tell Manya about Boo, the giant miniature space hamster. Or the miniature giant space
Yeah, the
hamster,
giant
sorry.
miniature
That's a
hamster.
positive.
He's
Yes,
in
you'll like
He's
this.
in Baldur's Gate 3, isn't he?
Yes, he
think
is.
so.
Minx
Yeah.
and Boo.
And
Boo
it-
is the
Yeah.
hamster.
You know how much time I spent trying to save that motherfucker?
But
Yeah,
Manya,
Boo's
do you know-
amazing
He's
though.
okay.
Worth.
Do you know
He's
about
amazing.
giant
He's
space
cute.
hamsters in general?
Yes,
they're a thing.
little.
Miniature
Do you know who
giant
made
space
them?
hamsters?
No, that I don't know, but I know they exist and they're in Baldur's Gate, and I love them.
The gnomes made them. The spell jamming gnomes they
Okay.
bred giant
Look at that
space
pizza.
hamsters.
And of course,
Miniature
I'm
giant
using
space
this
hamsters.
correctly.
Well, no, Chesh, they bred giant space hamsters,
With
and
my
then
fingers.
later on, they bred miniature giant space hamsters from the giant
Correct.
space hamsters.
I am currently
Oh.
sending her the
Oh.
Forgotten Realms wiki dot on the miniature giant
Nice.
space hamsters.
Oh my god, look at those fucking teeth. Oh my god.
They are specifically
Nice
a
if someone has
form
more
of
murderous eyes on
subspecies.
screen than me. And Manu
All right.
right now wants to kill everything.
Look,
respect that.
I'm going to try my best to put on my Catholic hat, having never been Catholic, but having gone to Catholic school, and
Oh.
try to figure out the logistics of hamster sins. Okay. So first of all, we have to understand that while it is not universal to Christianity, the Catholic Church believes in original sin, such that you are responsible for the sin of Adam and Eve, to some degree.
If I say sorry, is that okay?
Probably not, but in some
Might not be good
circumstances,
enough.
kind of.
Well, we're getting
So,
metaphysical now. Free will.
That means now, according to Saint Thomas, what is it? Saint Augustine of Hippo. That's
Come on,
what.
Rabbi.
According to Saint Augustine of Hippo, the original sin is actually transmitted genetically, but
Sexually
it's
transmitted
transmitted
disease.
through the sexual act.
It was an
And
STD.
so I'm gonna go with this. If the way that the hamster came about is by the father producing a sample through his own self-pleasuring, which is a sexual act, that does transmit original sin. And in that case, yes, Jesus did die for hamster sins for those hamsters. However,
I follow this logic.
if the sperm was extracted via medical procedure that did not involve any kind of orgasm on the part of the father, then the sexual act was not performed, which means that the original sin cannot be transmitted, and Jesus did not die for those hamster sins.
Hold on, I need to make some notes for my gooning material.
So suddenly, Jess is interesting as when I heard hentai virus earlier.
Hentai
She's like, go on, and I'm.
The
We've
Athens says
covered-
STS, sexually transmitted sins, but like that's literally
Yes.
what Augustine of Hippo was going on about. Like that is what it
Okay.
is.
Okay, genuine question then.
Good
Where
lord.
does I don't remember. I didn't remember the name, so I had to Google it. Owen Onan.
Onan, yeah, onanism,
Onan.
yeah.
Where does he literally come into this?
So
I remember the story. I didn't remember the name.
So Onan is a character from the Bible who. So we have to back up a little bit. One of the very
Genesis, I
important,
do believe.
a very important thing to like the ancient Middle East in like the Bronze and Iron
Why
Age
did the number of viewers
was-
watching this stream go up? What the fuck is wrong
We're
with
talking
you
about
people?
We're
important
talking about
things.
sex.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right, so in the
Mein
ancient
Gott.
Near East, in the Bronze and Iron Age, one of the most important things was your legacy, which primarily involved your descendants, right? If you didn't have descendants, you were basically worthless. Now,
Right.
in the Bible, in like the Levitical codes and whatnot, right? It's recognized that sometimes
immaculate
someone.
conception.
I mean, technically, one of the options that I described would be a Humster Immaculate Conception.
Yes.
But anyway, so if someone dies and has, or sorry, if a man dies and has a wife, but has not had children with that wife, the legal codes of the Bible require, if possible, for that man's brother to marry that dead man's wife and have kids with her, who will count as legally the dead man's kids, right? And that is to secure his legacy, so he has people who can inherit his lands and his properties and all that stuff, right? So, and also so his name isn't forgotten.
Good
Which is a
God.
big thing there. Okay, so Onan is a man who is supposed to do this. His brother dies, and he marries his brother's wife, and he doesn't want to. So instead of helping his brother's wife conceive, which is also a big deal for her, because if you don't have kids and you become an old woman in like ancient Hebrew society, no one's going to take care of you.
Right.
As an old woman, you rely on your kids to take care of you. So but rather than actually allowing her to conceive, he pulls out, right? And the Bible says he spills his seed on the ground. So
Yeah.
the Catholic Church, as well as other churches, have taken this as a prohibition on male masturbation.
Yes.
And they have called male masturbation onanism.
Yeah, there was actually, I actually did a video on this like 2 or 3 years ago, where I was like, you know, the Bible doesn't actually tell you can't jerk off, right? Like, that's uninterpretation, but that's not literally what it says.
Yeah, so that's
The,
one of the things
the
about
Bible
that
also
passage.
doesn't, if I remember correctly, the Bible doesn't literally prohibit suicide either.
It does not. So the problem.
Nor can you enforce it.
So Onan is condemned for this, right? He's seen as the bad guy. But the important thing is, if you actually take the text on its own, at face value, or not even face value, but like if you take the text on its own terms, right?
Yeah.
The sin that Onan is committing is not that he is wasting sperm or whatever, like Monty Python sketch might tell you.
Yeah.
It is.
Every sperm is sacred.
It is exactly.
Is good.
It is that he is sinning against both his dead brother and his brother's wife by denying them children who can carry on his brother's name and who can take care of his brother's wife.
Henry VIII.
Kinda.
Yeah,
And so-
the Anglican Church can appreciate that one in particular.
So one of the things is like this story has taken on like its own life in certain Christian groups, and it is completely divorced from the actual thing, which is to say that the actual sin of Onan is denying his brother's wife like sustenance in her old age, as well as denying his brother a legacy. It is not that the sperm went on the ground. That is not the point of the story. It's like when people say that, like, oh, the point of the story of Sodom and Gomorrah is gay is bad. No, it's not.
No.
It's that inhospitality and threatening strangers and foreigners with sexual assault is bad, regardless of.
Doesn't he offer his own daughters?
The one to
Yeah.
kill ice.
Sodom
He
and
does.
Gomorrah, where he
Yeah, but
offers his own daughters.
So he offers his own daughters because in refusing them, that heightens the inhospitality. The problem in Sodom and Gomorrah that authors are trying to get you to understand is that hospitality and refusal of hospitality is worthy of death. And
what
he's
is the feeling you should be in reading the Torah with a bunch of rabbis right now and discussing the meanings of the fucking scriptures?
I'm just
I mean, for
now
one
I'm just
thing,
imagining
I'm not
drunk
Jewish.
Dapper hanging out with a bunch of rabbis at a bar.
That sounds fun.
No,
honestly.
they'd be
Right?
in a sauna. They'd be in a sauna, and they'd all
Sauna?
just be like, "Oh,
Yeah, but here's the thing.
And
dinosaurs
also
can't
drunk.
sweat.
Their beards. Oh, of course, they're rabbis.
Dinosaurs can't sweat though. Well, not all rabbis have beards. I've met rabbis who didn't have beards.
Yeah, and most of those are. Were they skinny? Was he skinny?
Well, she was not skinny, actually.
Okay,
Lev.
then she's not rabbi.
She absolutely is a rabbi. She had a shmicha, and she was leading a synagogue. It was actually the synagogue closest to where I grew up, and I went in specifically because I'd never been in a synagogue, and I was curious. And so I went in, and I looked around, and I met the rabbi. Also, Megan Fox Giant Boob says Vishanti is a rabbi. She is in training to become a rabbi.
Yes, rabbi. All right, fair enough. Since the 1970s. All right, well, fair enough. Reconstructionists, conservative Judaism, spiritual leaders, Orthodox restrict their roles. All right, so they don't do everything, but then again, all rabbis don't do everything. Like they don't all know how to do the kosher food, for example. You need a very specific type of rabbi to come out and do that.
Yeah, there's actually a special group who are in charge of trying to figure out whether things are kosher or not.
And Don Giovanni in the chat also had a rabbi who was a woman who didn't grow a beard.
Also, don't forget, Sinead O'Connor briefly was ordained as a Catholic priest. No one knew how that worked, including the Pope.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like the Pope, but the Pope might disagree.
All right, well, we should look to wrap up there. Does anybody have anything crazy coming up? Debate Pub is on the 30th. The next Volcano Show is next Friday on the 15th. It's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day for anybody who that applies to. Tisdale Tuesday is this Tuesday coming up, and other shit. What else? Who's got what going on?
Dapper, you first.
All right. So yeah, let's see. Over on Dapper Dinosaur, as Chesh said, we got Tisdale Tuesday. That's coming up at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. On Thursday, I've got my next video coming up. That is Canadian Creationist Gave Me Homework. It's actually kind of a weird story there. I downloaded this 20-minute video and I thought I'd get 1 or 2 videos out of it. But instead, what happened is that these guys from Answers in Genesis Canada kept assigning homework reading, and the readings were so much longer than the video. So it turned into a 6-part mega series about me just going through all these articles. And this is the first. So this is the first part of that. It's 50 minutes or so. That'll be at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Then on Friday, I believe the goal is over on Top Hats Off for Chesh to run another session of Dungeons and or Dragons.
Nice.
I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you guys are having fun.
I am.
Yes.
So then on Saturday, I will be back with Vishanti and Dr. Kip Davis taking a look at the crazy claims that Hebrew was an invented language created by Jewish scribes primarily in Egypt in the 3rd and 2nd and 1st centuries BCE. And then that's about a week or so of stuff.
On the 19th here, there is going to be a debate between FTFE Craig and Chris Shelton, the ex-Scientologist, coercive control expert. They're going to be debating on whether or not Flat Earth is a cult. It's going to be spicy.
Yeah, they both are very, very confident in their positions.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Lev, what do you got going on?
Plus,
assuming Dapper can do it tomorrow, Space Marine 2, along with, oh my god, I feel like such a dick, the other guy in our group who's in your Discord there, Josh, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Cognitive
I go with trifurcation.
Cognitive trifurcation. We will be playing some Space Marine 2. I will be having the hopefully final episode of UFF with Magicus for Final Fantasy V on the 13th. So it'll be an extra long one. Then Feel Good for Final Fantasy for Vampire the Masquerade the day after. The Borderlands the day after, which of course consists of Magicus, Krendar, Feel Good, and your boy, whilst we play Borderlands. And finally, on the 17th is Simpsons Sunday, where we watch The Simpsons. We will start season 4, I do believe, and Chesh for UFF.
Nice.
Landon, what are you up to besides Volcano Show and the pub?
Well, besides they have this pizza, which by the way I'm going to put in the refrigerator and wait 2 days to begin, because you want the pizza refrigerator pizza that has been nice and chilled and comes out there. It did pass the test that I could eat it with my hands, and it did a good job. We have, of course, the Volcano Show, and we'll have some things to talk about with what Madame Pele is doing in the volcano. The winners of the 29th International Artist Theater Sleep Contest is going to be announced this month. David is working on the final bits of the show, and so once he's got to a point where we can do a dress rehearsal, then we'll set the date. But we invite you to participate in that. There are Favorite Universe YouTube channels where that live show will be posted, and you're welcome to see that. Plus the sources will be released at the end of the show. So I think you will enjoy some of the amazing contest winners this time. Finally, I'm going to go to Seattle next week on next Monday and next Tuesday. My niece is having a pop-up mezcal bar. If you look under the events of bar law, LAA. She is having a mezcal little pop-up within another bar that's featuring mezcal and the various mezcaleros and the terroir and the ecology of the stuff and the bats, because bats are an integral part of agave pollination. So that's going to be happening next Monday, next Tuesday. And of course, I'll just be having fun. So
Nice.
Mania, what are you up to? Anything in particular?
Nothing much. I've been trying to prep for the flat-stoid stream, but I just got a message.
I'm looking forward to that stream so much.
Yeah,
The what?
sorry to end on this note, but my mom's not well and she
Oh,
had to be
no.
hospitalized. I just got the message. So
Oh.
I
Happy
don't
Mother's
know
Day.
how so I don't know how much active I'm going to be. So if you don't see me around messaging much, just don't worry. I'm just a little preoccupied. So
totally
I
understand.
just got the message just now. She had to go to the hospital during the night, and that's what I was looking at the moment. So yeah, I hopefully I won't have to like drop everything and visit back home. Hopefully it's not that bad, but I'm just waiting.
That'd be a big trip.
I'm just waiting for some feedback on what's going on. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, keep in touch and let us know if you need anything. We'll be around, of course.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep in touch.
Yes.
Thanks for being a big bummer right at the end of Rum and Coke night after we talked about hamsters and
Yeah, really true. Not tonight, okay,
Well,
sweetie?
how could you do this to
Hopefully,
me?
Manya's mother does not have the hentai virus.
Hopefully, Manya's
No, I
mom
stole
doesn't
it
have
all
that.
to myself.
No, I
and
go,
I'll be
she
sure
should
to
have the
infect
hentai virus.
all of you.
All
Maybe that
right,
will be
thank you so
a-
much,
Ay,
everybody,
ay,
for
ay,
joining
ay.
us. The next
Bye.
Rum and Coke night will be on the 13th of next month. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to join in on Rum and Coke night and want to call in, you're more than welcome to. Just make sure you get with me about that, and I can totally get you a link. Thank you so much for joining us. Everybody say...
But Manya, Red Eye wants some pizza, so if I send you some pizza, can you give it to Red Eye? Because you're...
Definitely, I can do that for you.
All right.
All right, everybody
must be
say
abolished.
goodbye all at the same time.
Bye.
Everybody say bye. Ice must be abolished.
Bye.
Bye.
Hold on.
I don't know if
Go away.
we're gonna say
I
bye.
missed you already. Why do everyone